I shoot like I'm Montana, chop up bullets, make them shit.
You need a fire under your ass.
Yes. To get me going, that's the only way I'm going to get going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you said the right word.
So let's go. I feel like that's a good fucking.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good intro to the story. Do you care about talking about that shit on the?
I could talk about it.
Yeah, fuck it.
Being a dad is going to be something different, but yeah, I think that's going to be the spark, fire on my ass.
Uh-huh.
Because I think, I like to have fun way too much. I'd like to just be me and do whatever I want. But now, I think as soon as I see that kid, it's like, okay.
Oh, will you keep close to the mic when you talk?
Oh yeah. Now it's gonna be like, okay, all right, we gotta step up now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta buy some formula, diapers,
Yeah.
this, that, and the third, doctor's appointments. Grow up.
Literally.
No, like you have no choice. And like I'm not the type of person that'll let my kid down. Like I'm not one that lets my friends down. So I could tell that my kid is mine, and I'm very prideful to what I have. So like for example, I love my car. I'm gonna pimp it out. I'm gonna make it look nice. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna treat it right. I'm gonna take care of it. Barely drive it. With my kid, first of all, a child's priceless. You can't put a price to them. But I can only imagine just like the amount of things that I'm gonna want to do, expand my business. I'm gonna finally know what it feels like to like be a parent. You know what I mean? I'll sit there and talk crap. I hate parents all day, but now I'm gonna be one.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be an adventure, but I think it's something that's gonna really put me in my place.
I'm just wondering, like, what kind of, how will you change as a person? If that's even something that could be like predicted.
Yeah, how am I gonna change as a person? I just think I'm gonna have something to really live for. Like I think I'm just gonna want to do better for myself because my kid's gonna look up to me. You know what I mean? So I want my child to look up to me like my dad did this, my dad did that. You know what I mean? And
A
I
role
want my
model.
kid, a role model. That's what I want to be. You know what I mean? So it's like get your little bit of fun out of the way now. Once that kid comes,
A different type of fun.
a different type of fun. Yeah, of course I'll still hang out with my friends and stuff like that, but my child's gonna come first now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a big one for me. It's gonna, I'll be a very emotional person probably when this happens because like I'm already like a lot of times at night, I miss like the good old days of me being a child. So I feel like me seeing my child grow up when she does start to grow up, because I am having a girl, of course. Of course, me out of all people is gonna get a girl because I was always a troublemaker. Usually, troublemakers get girls,
That'll be interesting. Yeah.
But,
I can't wait to play with her.
But I mean, I think like just overall, I think, I get to relive my child life again a little bit, and I get to relive it seeing her.
Dude, that's such a common theme I hear about adults, like they miss the childhood.
Oh, bad.
And that just makes me wonder, but like why? What was there in the childhood?
I just miss like, I miss the class trips with all the friends, and I miss just having no responsibilities. That's a big one.
What do you define responsibility as?
Bills are paid for. Bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
I took that for granted. I think we all do, though. You know what I mean? You don't realize how much your parents actually do for you.
Yeah.
And your friends, and people always want you to grow up. Everybody how your parents, they always say like they always try to, I guess, look out for you and they want what's best for you, but you have to kind of learn that on your own. And that's one thing that I kind of learned on my own. You know what I mean? My mom always said, enjoy this, enjoy that, or do all the sports. And then now that I'm older, now I like regret it. I feel like that's just a pattern that's never been broken in society.
What do you regret? Well,
I wish I played more sports. I wish I did more. I wish I went out every single day. I wish I had fun every single day. I just wish I went and explored and I lived every moment to the fullest. Instead of sitting there moping around at home. It's whack.
Dude, that makes me wonder how to bring that into life. Is it reasonable to still want to bring that into life when you're an adult, when you have a kid and all those sorts of things, to still have that childlike wonder and joy? Because, like, this is such a strong theme, especially that I've heard recently, where a kid can, it looks like they're having fun with almost nothing. Like, anything will take their attention and there's wonder in it. Right. Is there a way to bring that into you as an adult and still be responsible and still be mature, but still have this joy and wonder in your life?
Yeah.
Because for some reason, like, oh, when you get into the real world, there was always that implication where
Yeah,
adults
when you
would
get
be
into
like,
yeah.
yeah, like for some reason, you'll lose that joy. But I really wonder, dude, is that just like an engineering problem? Do we just not understand our nature well enough so that we can maintain happiness and joy? Like, is it a skill? Is it
I
something?
think you're spot on with that. I'd say I question the same thing you question. Literally the same thing. It's just like I don't think we know ourselves enough yet.
Human nature, yeah.
yeah. Humans are just it's unique. I mean, but with the whole thing with the child thing, man, it's gonna be a wake up call for sure, and it's also gonna be like I don't know, things are gonna change. Who knows what way things are gonna go? All I know is I'm gonna play my part and try to do the best and make my child do everything.
Oh, dude, I had a friend, one of my best friends, who we weren't talking for a while, and they were in a low place, like very depressed, very like barely. They're not the kind of person where they'd kill themselves, but they might just die because they're not taking care of themselves. Like
Yeah.
that. But they had a kid. They ended up having a kid, and it was almost like it gave them the life they were missing. It gave them, I don't know, purpose, reason, something where, oh no, I have to be on point now. I have to be on the ball. I need to be energized, and I can't just be depressed and mopey. Like this kid, in a strange way, it kind of brought life back to them.
100%. Yep. That's how I feel sometimes too. I feel like, wow, like I'm just a failure sometimes, but it's like this is gonna lift me up. It's gonna lift me up, you know? I mean, I don't think there's a better feeling out there. I mean, I'm not a parent, but I don't think there's a better feeling out there when you come home from a long day of work and your child's excited to see you. I don't think there's anything that beats that. I don't think so.
Dad!
Yeah. And it's just like, oh shoot, like, and then get up the next day and repeat. But you know what hurts? I feel like what hurts is when your child grows up. Because then it's like, damn.
Do you mean that weird transition phase as a teenager where it's like, mom and dad, I don't want to hang out anymore?
Yeah.
Because I find a weird thing. Like there was a point where I didn't really want to interact with my parents. It wasn't cool or whatever. But now that I've become more of an adult, I almost hang out with them more on adult to adult basis. Like we're almost becoming friends again. There was a point where I was disconnected from them. Like I just want to be with my friends. I don't really want to be around you.
Yeah.
But now I've almost begun to appreciate them more, enjoy them more. It was weird when I traveled away and I came back and I realized, like, oh, one of the few people in this world that I can really trust with anything is my mom and my dad. Like, I know they won't screw me over. And, like, just to hang out with you, just to spend time, watch a movie and shit talk the movie if it's a crappy one, that can be one of the most enjoyable things.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I think I'm still like we all grow up at different rates and we all do different things. But like me personally, I still have like a little bit more of a distance connection with my parents. I just always have once I hit that like age, that teenage age. It's just like, yeah, I want to do my own thing. I was also like a late bloomer too. So like, I might be 24 now, but I might still act like I'm 20, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a late bloomer. It's all good. We all mature differently. We all grow up differently. We all do different things. You know what I mean? I'm not doing what the majority of everybody in my age group right now is party every day, college, this, that, and the third. Me, I'm over here like, party a little bit, hang out with the same friends, blow money, like do stupid shit, but at the same time, run a business. Nobody else that I really know does that. So I feel a little lonely in that type of boat, but I feel like I'm a unique person. I'm a unique character, you know what I mean?
Agree.
Yeah, so it all varies by person, but I mean, with life right now, man, I mean, I'm starting to get to the phase where it's like, listen, enjoy every day because you're not guaranteed tomorrow. I can feel that I'm starting to grow up with that kind of stuff. Like
it's starting to click.
Let me start enjoying stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I want to have as much fun as I can now. I don't know if I feel like I'm doing this because I'm having a child, so I'm like, oh, shoot, when I do have a kid, I'm not going to be enjoying life anymore. So, like, you know what I mean? But I feel like every day I'm trying to, like, have fun or smile. Even if it's a fake smile, I try to smile.
Dude, that makes me wonder, have you found any blueprints to happiness? Any of the pieces to that puzzle where even if I'm going through the shit right now, there's a way to endure gracefully, a way to be happy in really most contexts.
What sucks is I don't think I've ever found that. I think I distract myself. I try to distract myself a lot. So I'll try to hang out with my friends as much as I can to forget. Because I don't look to drugs. I don't look to alcohol. I've never been that kind of person. I think I just try to stay distracted, you know, as long as I can. But I think when the bottom line, at the end of the day, when I'm laying in my bed, I'm a very sad person, believe it or not. I can't sleep, and I think a lot. I think a lot. I overthink, I think, you know? And I think it's
the
because...
Kanye West line, I think too much.
Yeah, exactly. It's just because, like, I don't like the way the world's going. I also don't like, you know, I miss the good old days, you know what I mean? I miss running around being a kid. You know, I get into my feelings pretty hard, you know? Not only that, like, I feel like there's no loyalty out here anymore. It sucks. It's a rough world. I feel like things aren't the way they used to be. Sometimes I wish, you know, I was like a 80s kid or something, you know what I mean? Everybody says that was those were the times. Like, you know, when technology, I feel like we have too much technology now. Even though I want to live forever, you need technology to figure that out, right? But when it comes to, like, social media and stuff like that, it's really starting to get, you know, under my skin. I feel like things are really changing. The country's very divided. I think there's a lot of bullshit. Just bullshit.
Dude, there's something I have to jump back to for a second.
Yeah,
when you're talking
all over the place.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's the way, yeah.
You can have me for as long as you want.
Yes, this is going to be a fun session of jumping. When you're talking about distractions, right? There's something that hit me. I was on that ayahuasca retreat a while ago, and one of the things I was told by one of the shamans is that you're good at finding joy in external ways. Like, whether I'd be dancing, singing, this, that, and the other. But she just, there was something, like, the way she said it, like, there's an internal form of joy that you don't know how to get. And when you talk about distracting yourself, I have that memory run through my head, like, that's a common theme I've seen throughout my life. And this finding joy in the external way, whether I'm finding joy on TikTok or Instagram scrolling through, I'm finding joy hanging out with friends, I'm finding joy in delicious food I'm eating or porn I'm watching or people like all these things. But
wait, you said delicious food and what?
And porn. Which is probably, I mean, let's not deny that that's a decently common theme. And not even porn just in sex, porn in any sort of, like, I find TikTok to be a pretty... When I say porn, often I mean it's a high stimulation of something that we enjoy, and it's really high stim in a way that we haven't gotten naturally. Like, think of fast food. That's, I find that in a maybe porn's the wrong word for that, but or like catastrophe porn. That's a common term, like
right.
Where people are doom scrolling, it's called, where you're constantly finding all the information that makes you think the world's going to shit, and it's this super extreme stimulation. And there's so much data out there nowadays that if you wanted to fill every second of every minute of your life only looking at the worst things in the world, you can do that, and there's a way in which you can paint the whole world so it looks like it's constantly falling apart. And in a weird way, that seems to be a point where we're at right now. But what I was trying to get to is, like, how to find joy internally, right? Like, how to just sit here and be blissed out.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree, dude. Like I said, I feel like distracting yourself is not the key, because at the end of the day, when you're in that bed and you're about to go to bed,
just
it hits
you.
Yeah. It hits you. When it's you and you, it hits you, because you're just like, wow, like, I'm just distracting myself. How do you just find joy with yourself, or just in your inner self?
Mm-hmm. Would you ever think of going to therapy, like a psychologist?
Therapy.
Because
I feel like you could be your own therapist. I feel like you don't need that. Mm-hmm. It's good to have somebody to talk to, but that's what my friends are for. That's what this and that or whatever. Keeping things in sucks. That's one thing that I have a big issue with. Like, my parents and a lot of people around me, they all think that I have a big mouth and I say everything, but people don't really know how I'm feeling inside. I only tell you what I want you to know. You know what I'm saying? You don't know the details behind the scenes. I don't let a lot of things out, and I think keeping a lot of things in is
it looks
not
like
a
you're
good
putting
thing.
on a show a good amount of time.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. So a show, distractions and all that, I think it's not good. I feel like I don't have anybody to really talk to, because sometimes I feel a little embarrassed as to what's happened to me and this, that, and the third. Or you know what I feel? I feel like sometimes people will just look at me and laugh and be like, "Well, get over it." I hate that. That get over it stuff is just it's just not for me. That's why I keep a lot of things inside. But
and there's the question of how the food go
right?
to get over it.
And I stand on like a lot of big things. You know, a lot of people don't agree with me, and I'm very like diehard to the core. What I believe in is what I believe in, and that's that. You know what I mean?
Belief's a fucking weird. Oh, there's so much wrapped up in what you just said.
Oh, I know. I'm probably throwing you all over the place.
You're good. It's just like so many delicious things what to bite into. That's a weird fucking way to say it, but whatever. When you talk about belief, that's something interesting I've heard someone talk about lately, and I've been thinking about it a good bit lately. This guy called Sadhguru, and where he describes that I don't believe in anything. When you believe in something, there's the implication that you don't know. But you don't know, but for some reason, you are making up your mind that this thing is real, even though you don't have enough evidence. Excuse me.
No, you're good. Burp away.
Yeah. Have enough evidence to say that it's true, that I know for a fact it's true, and yet for some reason you're still acting, feeling, behaving. Oh, someone just walked behind us.
Yeah, cross country.
Oh, cool. Jogging on through. Oh, dude, that's one of the most fun places to jog in the woods, but that's a fucking whole other tangent. And that's something that struck me. Like when people say they believe in a certain side, politically speaking, which is something that I've certainly done before, it makes me wonder, why close yourself off to other possibilities? Yeah, that would be a big thing. Because there's a weird thing that happens. I've noticed sometimes when talking to people about hot topics, it could be Ukraine, it could be Trump, it could be abortion, where people I've noticed oftentimes get very heated. Like if you start to ask a question or dig into or provide opposition to what they are believing in, I'll say, they almost want to start attacking you as opposed to opening up that I don't know, right? Because like, okay, let's say I don't know everything there is to know about this topic. Let's engage with these questions. What are the answers to them, as opposed to just, I don't know, just wanting to like spastically shut down whatever it is I'm trying to do. It's a weird, although I have noticed occasionally there can be some breaking through that barrier if I respectfully listen, one, and then just provide questions that pop into my head or some things I disagree with or some problems I have with their line of thinking. And I'm not doing it trying to convince them. I'm just saying, all right, I'm playing this through my head. This is why I'm not sure of X. And like, why are you sure of that thing? And then every now and then you'll see the person get like really heated, like, whoa.
Heated, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they'll still try and explain it, but there's a weird sort of explaining it while still being in this really heated, like, spastic phase. It's weird. Maybe it's just not maybe it's just not understanding how to have reasonable, calm discussion about a topic. I wonder if that's just something we haven't really been taught very much.
People take things way too personal, especially with politics. Boy, it erupts. It erupts with the politics stuff. It erupts. I don't know what it is. People have this like envy, this anger. It's like inside. I don't know what's up with it. I just try to shrug things off, and I kind of just laugh it off. I get over it. You know what I mean? But when you get me going, I get going, and then you're going. But yeah, I don't know. I think humans are just they're whack.
Strange.
You know, look at animals. They're just living life. All they do is try to survive.
We do have some extra layer, it seems, like survival. We want something more than just eat, sleep, shit, repeat.
Yeah.
And then
well, we're not animals, and you know what I mean? We're not animals. So like,
well, why? What do you mean when you say that?
We're not animals. I mean, animals. First of all, see, this week could get really tricky. But an animal, what's the purpose of an animal? I mean, if you consider us animals, then we're some really high-tech animals to have cars and planes and this and that and businesses and making money and power. And these other animals are still animals. You know what I mean? So an animal is kind of just wake up, eat, drink, sleep, shit, repeat. Us, wake up, work, provide, hunt, kill people. You know what I mean? War, control, this, that. It's a lot more. Travel. You know what I mean? We do vacations. You know, animals and people are completely different. You know what I mean? What animals like us?
Well, we still need to eat, sleep, go to the
Exactly,
bathroom.
yeah.
We need to do all those things.
Yeah,
those
'cause
sort of things.
all life
We
kinda
still
has
try
to.
to mate and find something to mate with. A lot of other animals do that. We'll have these tensions to try and have power in the group, and chimps
Yeah.
will have struggles like that. Other animals in packs to try and be the leader of the pride. There's a lot of other things we have though.
Yeah, but we're just way too advanced.
It does get weird. There's an interesting book called Sapiens where a guy breaks down like, okay, if you were to go back a few 100,000 years and look at the history of what we can see, we were not more significant than a starfish, than a firefly, than another chimp hanging in the trees. And something very pivotal has changed in that amount of time. Like if you were to look at our impacts on the environment and things along those lines, our level in the food chain, we weren't anything stand out. We were, you look at a squirrel, you look at a bird, then they both just kind of are animals. They fall into that category. But for some reason, over those few 100,000 years, something has changed in our way of being where we now, in many ways, we impact the world much more than any other animal, it seems.
But an animal's still just the same shit. They never really changed.
There's some weird. I heard recently that orangutans have begun to use tools, like there are instances of them using like spears and rocks as hammers and things along those lines. So that I heard described that they are now in the Stone Age, right? And we were in the Stone Age. I forget some amount of time in the past, and that would be weird. Like if we were to run this experiment and not really intervene with it, I wonder if they would get to the Bronze Age. I forget the other ages, but like if we were to just sit back and watch them, would they go through the same transitions we went through?
I don't think so. Because first of all, if what you're saying is right, us humans, you know us, we're evil. We wouldn't allow that to happen.
I don't know, man.
You know what I'm saying? We're not going to allow these damn orangutans to become anything next. Like let's say eventually they catch up to us. Like if you're saying hypothetical, which I think is totally fiction, but if they were to catch up, we're not going to allow that. You know what I mean? We're not going to allow them to catch up.
I don't know, man. Like I can definitely see there would be some people who would be very afraid and want to like shut that down, see it as a threat. And yet I can also see in human nature we have that side and many other sides, but one other side I'll point at is we do have a hippie side. We do have a side of people who are literally willing to chain themselves to trees. People who are willing to, I see a bird whose arm is crippled on the ground. I'm gonna come nurse it back to health and then like set it back out. We have a lot of elements to us.
Yeah,
as humans.
yeah. Humans, like I said, we have a
weird.
unique.
Yeah,
we have a million different, just millions of characteristics. Like it's just everybody thinks differently, and like. Some people will be like, oh my gosh, it's an animal. You know what I mean? You got people. See, we're all different. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but again, this is me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would never compare an animal to a human, but you got people that do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I will never sacrifice a human's life for a damn animal. It's not going to happen. I could care less. Even if it's my animal and I love my animal, I will save a human over an animal. Like, you know what I mean?
There's a part of me that agrees with you.
There's some people out there. I know a couple people out there that are like, if you know when you're younger you do those hypothetical things. For example, I know a girl out there that literally told me once. She goes, you know, if there was a bad guy that broke into the house and somebody had to die, whether it was me or the animal, me or my dog specifically, I would sacrifice my life for my dog. Motherfucker, you could take my dog and skin it for all I give a fuck. You know what I mean? I'm trying to keep it 100.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think people take this shit a little extreme. But everybody's different. What are you going to do about it?
Okay, like I like bringing up this little story. There will be days where I'm hanging out in the woods a good bit. And every now and then I'll see, I don't know if pack is the right word, but I'll say packs of deer. And maybe I'll start like jogging near them and I'll follow them for a bit and they'll kind of stare at me, watching me for a little bit. Maybe sometimes they get close. And then I noticed later on when I was driving by the woods, I cared a lot more about making sure I didn't hit a deer. And usually before that, I would like, I don't want to hit a deer because I don't want to fuck up my car. I don't want to. But now it's like, I don't want to hit a deer because weirdly, I feel like I care about them. Like, that's it started to become much more of a living thing, like a real creature and not just some annoying obstacle that randomly jumps out in front of my car. Now it's almost like I'm driving through a neighborhood and I'm careful. Like if a kid runs out to grab a ball, I'm really careful, not because I don't want to dent my bumper. It's because I don't want to kill this child. And I start to feel the same about the deer. But it's also strange because when I don't spend a lot of time in the woods around them, that feeling I've noticed it starts to kind of,
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird, man.
I feel you on that. Also, another thing that I find crazy. I get into an argument with my friend all the time about this. I have a friend, right? Actually, my cousin. He'll sit there and say to my friend, I don't give a shit about a dog. I'll eat it. It's food to me. Then my friend will sit there and say, how could you do that? It's a dog. But it's like, what's the difference between a dog and a pig? If I like the taste of dog, let me eat the damn thing.
Oh, like it's so
You
weird.
know what I mean? I hate that people like to put labels like a dog is supposed to be more superior than a pig. That's all preference. See, me, at least for me, I look at all animals the same. An animal's an animal.
But weirdly, you put humans outside of the category.
Yeah, we're not in there. I treat humans completely different. And I'm sure that I got a million people that will agree with me. And I'm sure there's a million people that don't. But personally, when it comes to the animals, I treat all animals pretty much the same. You know what I mean? Whether it's a little chipmunk or an elephant. You know what I mean? I feel like if I shoot a chipmunk or an elephant, just because of the size difference don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? An animal's an animal.
Do you think
You know
of
what I
an
mean? I think
insect
it's- I
and
think
an animal the same? Like,
See,
you think of stepping?
that's when you start stepping into little things and stuff like that.
It gets weird.
Yeah, it gets weird. It gets weird because, like, now, do people classify insects as animals? Technically, yes, and this and that. But
I don't know, actually.
you know what I'm saying? Some people do. I know some people do, and it's all like it gets real tedious with all this stuff. But you get on the grand scheme of things, like an animal. There's no difference between a big animal and a little animal. You know what I mean? And there's no difference between a dog and a pig. You know what I mean? Like, if in other countries, if it's okay to eat dogs and people breed dogs to eat them, let it go. I see on TikTok all the time, how could they be eating dogs? But it's like, I'm sure there's countries out there, it's like, how could you be eating a pig?
Dude, I was listening to some guys.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it's the way that just society views it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why if you're going to eat the damn animal, eat it. Now, should you kill animals? Should you kill animals for... Should...
Hold on. Abuelita. Gracias.
Damn,
Cameo.
that messed your shit up.
No, you're good.
I don't think it's that hard. You just cut.
Oh, no, yeah. It's pretty easy to cut that, but that was funny. We got Cameo going with Abuelita joining the show. But coming back to...
Oh, okay, so back... Wait a minute.
Oh, yeah, dude. Okay, so
Wait. So I said something about...
We're talking about different cultures, different view of animals, different ways to treat... Oh, shit. Well,
yeah, I mean...
these Reese's have melted
So
in
when
my
are we
pocket.
going to just... Boom. So we're going to come back right now?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Action, right? Okay. So, like what I was saying, like, again, like, I feel like you shouldn't just go out there killing animals for fun. That's kind of mean. You know what I mean? But if you're going to eat it, by all means, all respect. See, I have friends, again, I always bring up pig because you
That's
got
such a
people out
classic
there.
food.
Oh, yeah, because you got people out. Well, I'm Puerto Rican. You know us and our pigs.
Oh, yeah.
I love that shit, man.
Mhm.
Chicharrones,
Dude,
pork
what do you
chops,
think
all
about
that.
factory farms?
Don't get me going. Factory farms. Explain. Get into detail.
Do you find any problem with the factory farm? And like it's
The way they like animal cruelty.
Yeah.
Um,
like have you ever seen like up close
yeah,
it
yeah.
becomes really weird and different like I was talking earlier with the deer, when you're up close to one, there's a feeling that, at least for me, that started to grow like, ooh, this is fucked up.
Yeah, like,
This is-
should they have a natural life in this and the third? Sure, but
dude,
at the end of the day, bro, listen, man, the world is ran on money. So factory farms and this, that, and the third, people hustling and they're just doing what they got to do to get that money. They don't care if you're eating an organic pig or if they're not, you know what I mean? They want that money. So, like, is it wrong? Yes. Torturing them is excessive. Should they see grass and this, that, and the third? It gets real crazy with me with the food. Listen, like again, you shouldn't kill an animal for fun. It's not right. But if you're gonna eat it, nobody should judge you for eating that particular animal. I don't give a shit. If you like eating cats, eat cats. It's all good.
What if it's almost extinct?
If it's now that's where I think is OD. That's where I think is OD. If they're about to be extinct, once they're not extinct, then yeah, go eat a damn panda bear.
Oh, dude, that gets fucking weird.
I don't give a damn.
Because like, okay, let's go with this. So when
see
you
what
have a
I'm saying?
dog in your life, it becomes a friend. It becomes a part of the
Yeah,
family. Like when
yeah.
you're hanging out with it all the time,
Yeah.
and playing, and when you have tough days, and it comes over and you're hanging out, like, and it can tell you're sad in a weird way. It's
Yeah,
not,
absolutely.
it's not just.
It has a connection with you.
Yeah, and here's another thing. I've heard of people living with tribal communities that still do hunting with bows and arrows at some section of Africa, I forget. And they have packs of dogs, like 40, 50 dogs that hunt with them. But they view dogs very much as a tool in that community. It's not like, oh, this is
you
Fido.
got different, you got different people for different things. If you want to have a pet, I'm all for it. You know how like you got those people, again, you got people that are like, animals should be outside. It's wrong to have pets and this, that, and the third. Hey, it is what it is. I mean,
oh, dude, I find it fucking. You ever
It's
see
all
someone who
cool.
has a
You know what I
dog
mean?
like
If
a
you don't
German Shepherd, but they'll keep it in the cage like 90% of the fucking day?
yeah, that's a little mean.
That's like, and isn't it so weird that there seems to be a part of you that's clicking like, ooh, that's a little mean. And for some weird reason, even though they're not humans, there's a feeling like I can't explain why. I don't know why, but there's a part of me that feels like that's wrong, like that's fucked up to, in a sense, torture the animal like that.
Yeah, torturing.
I don't even want to say the animal, to torturing.
Like I said,
them.
torturing's a little excessive. Like I know I mentioned like the girl would sacrifice her life for the dog, which I think is crazy. I would never like.
And that's weird to say that, but like,
take
would
the
you
damn
really
thing
do
and
that?
Do whatever you want to do with it. I would not choose a dog over myself or any damn animal over myself, bro. You're crazy. We're humans, you know what I mean? Nah. But like we serve, I guess, a little bit more of a purpose to life. I mean, of course, some people out there are fucking bad, but it is what it is. I just think that the whole eating animals is totally fine. Like you got people out there protesting at Starbucks and stuff like that. Do you ever see that? What do you call that group? I forget. Starts with a P. I think. I forget. I try not to pay a lot of attention because they really get me mad.
I don't remember.
It's the group that no milk, no beef, no this, no that. Like super anti-eating meat or anything with the animal.
See, that's weird because I wonder if a lot of times
And
they're
it's like-
anti the treatment of the animal before eating it. And I'm sure some of the people there are just like, no, never eat them, period.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think a lot of people who are opposed to that, like who are vegan or vegetarian for a moral reason, it falls under the category like they're doing that for the same reason why you might say don't put a dog into a cage for 90% of the day.
Right.
Like, it's hard to explain why, but there's something wrong about it. There's something like they deserve to live a better life, and for some reason, better means out in the open, roaming, being able to kind of do what you want, play, be happy, shit like that.
Yeah.
And that it's fucking weird, dude.
I think these people shouldn't tell people you're a disgrace for eating meat. You're a disgrace for drinking milk. You're a disgrace for eating eggs. And it's like, bro, listen, dude. They're animals. Again, to me, they're animals, and I like meat. You know what I mean? It all varies by person. I'm sure there's people out there that'll be like, kill all the damn animals. And then you got other people out there like, save all the animals. And you got this and that. But personally, I'm very,
Oh, dude,
eat whatever meat you want to eat. And if you want to have a pet, have a pet. If you want to love it, care for it, do that. If you want to sacrifice your life for a damn animal, go for it. That's your life. Yeah. Oh, speaking of life, if you want to sacrifice your life for an animal, do it. But don't, force a baby to die. You want to get really into it?
We'll get into that later.
Yeah, oh yeah. But you know what I mean. I'm very pro-life, so.
Oh, that gets,
you see, everything kind of goes
before
into,
we fucking dive into that water,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm down to dive into that water.
That's a
But
good
before that, I'm thinking, okay, you brought up an interesting point where, okay, some people, this is their job. This is how I make money, whether working at a slaughterhouse or running the company or working at a McDonald's.
Yeah.
Or when I say running the company that makes these meats and patties and things along those lines. And like, that's how I make my living. And also to stack on top of that, well, people have been hunting animals for a very long time, eating food in that way.
Totally
So
cool.
now, is this maybe just we've gotten so good at it? This is what it's become now. We're so good at, I wouldn't even call it hunting exactly, but at feeding ourselves that now we don't even have to hunt. We can just raise and kill the animal. Yeah, but then,
Yeah.
dude, for me, I was driving by one.
A factory?
A factory farm.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw it, and I'm like, I gotta roll the windows down. Like, I just gotta fucking.
Yeah, you wanted to. Did you want to take a deep breath?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude.
See, I'm like that too. I gotta be like, what the hell's going on?
For miles after I passed it. First off, it was fucking huge.
You could smell it,
dude,
like
it was
that bad.
I gagged as soon as I opened the windows.
Get
It was
outta here.
Like, oh, this is dangerous.
Like
for me
almost
to be driving.
almost like a dead body.
Yeah, it was
like
like
a
if
human
you
body.
soaked a dead body in shit in the hot sun for
Get
days.
out of here. Where was this?
I forget, somewhere in the Midwest while I was driving through. I forget the specific state, but like you could drive by a farm and you'll smell like, it doesn't smell great. It smells kind of like a farm.
like regular cow
Yeah,
manure
but
or
you
whatever.
count like 10 seconds after you drive past it, and you just normal country air you're smelling. But it was for like 10 minutes pass by, you still smell it. 15 minutes, you still smell
Get
it.
the hell out
And
of
it's
here.
and I was on, I think, a highway going whatever speed I was going at the time. But Jesus Christ! And after that, I'm like, dude, I can't unless I'm like really. I go to fast foods way less now, and I think it was largely because of that. It's like experiencing that piece of it, having one of my senses touch what it really means to get that food. It just, it hit me in a way where I was like, nah, I don't want to be a part of
Really?
this, And yet, it's
So
hard for me
working there would be like, oh my gosh,
Oh my God.
like you got to throw up. No, I got to drive by one now.
Yeah, dude.
Is there any in Jersey?
I don't know, maybe.
Jersey's a very populated state, and they
We're
want to.
weird. We have country air, like country-esque
But that's where they
areas.
do a lot of sneaky stuff, though. Like a lot of shady stuff goes on in the open where nobody's
If you go,
around.
'cause just a lot of people aren't seeing it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
I also
That's
found
the
a lot
whole
more
point. That's the whole
prisons and
point.
stuff when I would go through the country.
Interesting. Figure out where
What
you were
state?
at,
Mm-hmm.
because I wanna do that.
Dude, that was
and
easily.
you can still remember the smell right now. You should, if it was that bad.
It was. I would compare it to. Okay, I broke into a house. I broke into an evicted house once with some friends for reasons I don't need to get
What
into.
a terrible kid.
Oh, we got into some shit, but we break into the house, right? And this is one of those houses where they tell the person beforehand, like, we're gonna kick you out. The bank is kicking you out, and they trash the fucking house.
Right.
Like there is just literal trash everywhere, clothes strewn about. People were like fucking up the walls and things. People left food in the fridge.
Oh, so like just doing the usual young dumb shit.
No, this
breaking
is like
into
the owners.
houses.
Oh yeah, when we
Yeah,
were young.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm saying the owners fucked this house up before they left. It's like, we can't pay for the house anymore. We're getting kicked out. At least this is what I heard the explanation was. And we're, I don't know, resentful. Like, fuck you for kicking us out of the house. So we're gonna trash the house so you
Yeah.
can't even like sell it afterwards. So, dude, I opened the fridge and they still had like meat left in the fridge, and it's like it punched me in the face as soon as I opened. That was easily one of like the top 3 worst smells I've ever smelled, and it's up there with like the factory farm, like meat that's been rotting for months if not years. Like that's what it smelled.
I could
like.
actually relate to a similar situation. My friend actually, his grandfather was losing the house,
Mhm.
and they put a deer in the fridge, and they cut it open.
Oh,
In like the cooler, the what do you call it? The one where it's like the freezer, the outside freezer one type
big
thing.
ass for yeah.
Big ass rectangle thing. They put a deer and they cut it open in there. Let me tell you something. Me and my friend we were like, I miss your grandpa's house. Let's go back to your grandpa's house. Let's just go check it out. Sneak in type shit. We go because obviously no one lives there. We open that fridge, bro.
Oh.
That, bro, we couldn't even close it.
I can't even get close.
Bro, it was like just a pool of just
Ooh.
black, thick. It looked like oil
Oh.
with like, it was just like eating itself.
Uh-huh.
Just like, bro, let me tell you,
Dude, I
that
could smell
smell.
it first. I
Because
tasted it
I've
for
never
a second.
smelled a dead human body, and I heard that's the worst smell ever. So I wonder if that's something compared to that. Probably a human body is probably even worse, because just imagine the things that we eat compared to a deer
I don't know.
or
but-
whatever. But
Mhm.
like, wow.
Yeah.
And like that smell just went out. like the whole house. That house is beat. Hey, the house is not that far from here. Shit, I don't think anybody lives there.
Dude,
still.
why would you even do that? Why would
We
you
just
leave-
wanted to see like yo.
No, not that. Why would
Oh.
you leave the deer in there?
I don't know, just fucking around, being an asshole. You know?
Dude, what?
I
Being an
think the
asshole
deer
is such a
meat
weird
kind of
part.
was going bad, so they're like, we're getting kicked out anyways. Throw it in there, cut it open, make it really like just.
It just sounds like
being
a
a
fuck you.
jerk.
Dude, okay, what would you, if you've ever been an asshole in your life, why have you been an asshole? Because I'm curious in the nature of what it is to be an asshole. Like, maybe I should ask that of
It's just
myself.
something within yourself, probably.
Yeah, like sometimes where I've
something
taken
happened to you.
joy out of fucking someone over, like it feels good to see someone else's pain, like
Right.
that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, being an asshole is a weird thing, man.
yeah.
Now I'm thinking.
I could be an asshole. My mom could be like
ditto.
that too.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if everyone has the potential to be an asshole.
Oh, I could be an asshole. I'm an asshole. Like I could just. I'm the type of guy that'll hop in the car and just be like, "Bitch, you need to change your outfit. You look ugly."
Yeah, you're an
Asshole.
asshole. That,
And they'll be like,
in
"Wait,
that
why?"
moment.
And I'm just like, "Because you're ugly." Like I'm just a dick. Even though in reality the person's not. You know, it's just sometimes I just want to be an asshole.
Wait, you're saying not
You know
even
what I
if they don't even look ugly, even if
Yeah,
they
just
did, it's still
to
an asshole
say,
thing
just to say it, so they feel some type of way. I don't know. I mean, sometimes I walk in the house, my mom will just give me a dirty look, and it's just like, what the hell, you know? I think, I don't know. Hispanics are assholes. I think that's all races. Like you could be an asshole if you want to be an asshole. Because I know a lot of white people are assholes, black people are assholes, Spanish people are assholes.
Dude, sometimes it's
This,
okay
that.
if you can be. Some of the best humor I've ever heard is where you're fucking around with one of your friends and like
Oh,
if they
Get under
weren't
their
laughing too, it would be bullying. Like
Yeah.
if they weren't
Oh,
also
yeah.
but
Oh, I
then
do
they
it all the
throw
time.
like a jab back at you and you jab
yeah.
back. Oh, that's some of the best humor you'll
That's
ever
when
hear.
like the whole bullying thing gets out of context. Like I know in school they take bullying a big thing. For example, if you're joking around with your friend and y'all get in trouble or suspended, bro, it's like that's where I think that things are just getting a little too crazy with
if
that.
you were both genuinely like joking and having a good time with it, like even if you didn't know, you would think like you're about to get into a fight type shit.
Yeah.
But if you know, they're just fucking around, that's one thing. But it can also get real fucked up. Like I'm sure you've seen people who are getting bullied. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're doing those sorts of rips on a person, but that person is not feeling it.
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
digging into
Yeah,
him.
oh
like,
yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
know all your buttonings. I'm
'Cause
pushing this shit. out of them.
I've been in situations where in school, I remember high school, go to the cafeteria, a friend will be like, say who the heck knows what. Even an enemy. Sometimes you argue with your enemies for the hell of it. And they get under your skin, you're just like, all right, tomorrow I'm gonna get them back. It is what it is, bro. It's just shots fired, you know? It's just it ain't that deep. It gets personal with certain people, I guess, but
Yeah.
with
some
me,
people like now we gotta
I
fight.
feel like now it's a little too sensitive with certain things. They got to start like really like I don't know. The school system's fucked. I don't know. I think parents are way too sensitive. I think people take things too personal. It's just getting out of hand. But I do remember a time. See, this is why I have a very good memory. And one thing that I didn't like that happened to me, and I hope this gets highlighted. I hope people pay attention to this when they see your podcast. I remember sitting in lunch with a girl that I completely did not fuck with. And she did not fuck with me either.
You're sitting with her for
No,
some
yeah,
reason?
yeah. I think
Like friends at the table.
I'm pretty sure my class was in trouble.
Mm.
So they made us sit in particular spots because there would be no reason I'd be sitting next to this person. And I remember her making fun, saying, you're skinny, no one's gonna want you. I looked at her and I said, you're fat. No one's gonna want you too. I got sent to the office. I got in trouble for that. And she didn't.
Wait, that's weird. That gets weird because did anybody hear her say that to you?
Yeah.
How did you get
And
in
you
trouble?
know what's funny?
Mhm.
She told them that too, and I still got in trouble. Like, she didn't get a phone call home. I did. My mom's cool as hell and was like, "Well, skinny, fat, it should just neutralize." But that's the thing that I don't like. I don't like that if, first of all, she's a female, and you know, I always think that females get away with a lot more than men with a lot of things. But you know, if you called me skinny, no one's gonna want me, and I say you're fat, no one's gonna want you. You know what I mean? Obviously, I got offended. I said something back, and then you got offended about it too, and then somehow I end up in the principal's office and I get a phone call home, but you don't? That's not right. It's not right. Just because, why? You got the show Biggest Losers or something? So, like, you know what I mean? It's just like, at the end of the day, it's like, it's the same thing. If you're too skinny or you're too fat, there's no difference. It's weird. Like, I remember my principal saying, well, you know, this was in middle school. This wasn't in high school. This was in high school. Believe it or not, my principals in high school loved me. They thought I was just a straight up kid. I've never got in trouble for anything I did. You know, I would do whatever, throw a damn paper airplane in the damn middle of the class. And, you know, I'd get sent to the office and I'd be like, well, I did it because I'm just, you know, class is boring. Why not? You know what I mean? And they understood. They were like, it's Chris being Chris. I get it. You know what I mean? Don't do it again type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't like the fact that in middle school when this girl said that to me, and I went to the principal's office like, well, she's going to get in trouble too. And that wasn't the case. It was only me.
Oh, like it's
and obviously I got in trouble in school because I got the phone call home. But my mom was just like, well,
okay, so first, before I say anything about it, I want to be defense lawyer for her. I want to try and see if maybe
ahead.
There's some way in which they did that reasonably. Okay.
Because feelings are feelings, bro. They hurt my feelings too.
Mm-hmm.
You want to play that game?
No.
I like being skinny, but I'm not, you know.
Okay, so first off, how did anybody find out? Like, how did
because it was like a diss in the table.
Did a teacher hear you or something? Or did she go complain? Or
I don't remember. All
Gotcha.
I remember was getting thrown into the damn office.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like it's weird.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. But if I do remember, I think somebody heard. But I think they heard both. It's like, oh, it's okay. It's good to be skinny, but it's not good to be fat. But there's no difference, really. In the grand scheme of things, don't be a hypocrite now. You know what I mean?
Like
you
it's
know,
weird.
I could be hurting too.
Mm-hmm.
My mom raised me to have tough skin with that kind of words don't hurt type thing. But like, bro, that wasn't right. Like, I think that was wrong. She should have got a phone call home too.
If it went down the way you're saying it,
shut up and call it a day.
If it went down the way you're saying it, then yeah, that just sounds unfair. Honestly,
100%.
Maybe that has, and this is totally a maybe. But maybe that has something to do with fat shaming. Seems to have been a big thing in culture lately. Like, it's bad to fat shame, almost implying like a lot of people like being skinny ideal.
Yeah.
And then you also I've heard in the model culture, in the model world, like being is bulimic where you vomit to make yourself skinnier. Whatever it is.
Yeah, bro, all these words, bro.
Well, yeah, we're in the model, right? And a model's supposed to be, it seems, well, maybe a model is supposed to be the ideal of beauty, right?
Right.
And if the ideal of beauty was for a while being really, really, really skinny, even to a point skinny in an unhealthy way, when someone says like, oh, you're too skinny, maybe in the back of their mind they're like, fucking, that's not really an insult.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing.
But if it actually insulted you,
no, totally. But here's the thing. This is where shit gets tricky. Now that I'm older, I became a chick magnet. In my 18, 19, 20-year-old range group, I became a chick magnet. And what I notice is my friends, they'll laugh at me and they'll be like, you like skinny girls? You know what I mean? And I'm just like, hell yeah, I like sticks and bones, bro. You know what I mean? That's my type. You know, that's my thing. And then I got friends out here that are just like, I like my women thick, juicy. And I'll look at the girl and be like, hell no, not for me. You know what I mean? I just personally don't. You know what I mean? See, so like the thing is there really difference? Because I'm sure those skinny girls, they feel some type of way when they're just like, you're nothing but sticks and bones.
Well, dude, it becomes the same thing.
You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's the same shit.
Yeah, it sounds like the same shit if they're saying it to insult you. Like, she didn't say that as a compliment. Like, she literally said no one's going to want you, so it sounds like an insult.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
and all I said it right. Dude, I literally took the words and put it as to what she looks like. This is you.
Mm-hmm.
But I get in trouble. Was it because she's a girl? I have this thing with women now because, like, women always fucked me over. So it's like I don't know if it's the girl thing. I honestly feel like it was literally because she's fat and I'm skinny, and society or the way people make it look, it's okay to be skinny or normal or whatever, but it's not okay to be fat. But in the end of the day, it's all the same shit. If I say, well, girls aren't going to want you too because you're normal, you know what I mean? Because me and my friend argue about this all the time. I'll be like, yo, I'm skinny and tall. Girls want me. And then my boy would be like, nah, girls want me because I'm average. I'm 5'10" and I'm normal body weight. But I'm like, nah, girls don't like guys like that. You see what I'm saying? So, like, is there even a normal when it comes to weight? Because I feel like there's just a preference for everyone. Because I think everybody has their own preference. So I feel like anybody could get offended to anything. But again, why did we get sent to the office for that?
Dude,
That's another
dude.
thing. That's nothing. That's nothing.
I got a funny fucking
didn't hit
story
her, she
from
didn't
middle
hit me.
school.
Let
You
it
want to talk
go.
about hitting? Dude, so my brother was in a fight when he was in middle school. It was a ridiculous...
I remember this story, but go ahead, repeat it.
It's a ridiculous story. He's at a dance. One thing leads to another. He's standing up for a friend or some shit like that. Guy gets him in a headlock. He like pushes him out of the headlock and socks him once in the face, and that's the end of the fight, right? And so the principal like is talking with the parents later, and he's like, well, even though your son didn't start the fight, because apparently it was the other kid who started the fight,
Right.
you're both getting in, if I remember correctly, equal trouble, because under no circumstances is it okay to hit him back. He should have done defensive maneuvers. And one of the things my mom said was like, do you teach these defensive maneuvers? No. So
What do
how
you
are we
expect?
supposed to? Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
what are these defensive maneuvers when
Right.
someone's having you in a headlock and trying to punch you
Cry
in the
for
face?
help. It
Yeah.
might be too late though.
Yeah, and
You know
what
what
if
I mean?
dude? You remember the fucking walls kids would make around a fight to stop teachers from?
Oh
getting
hell
to,
yeah!
Oh yeah!
It takes them another 20 seconds, and usually a fight lasts within 30 seconds. You know what
And
I
you
mean?
can do a lot, dude. 30 seconds of getting your
Ah.
ass whooped, that's a long fucking 30 seconds right there.
It hurts. I guess, but
Dude, 2 seconds of having someone full power sock you in the fucking face is a long time.
just one hit. All it takes is one
Oh,
hit.
yeah.
And 6 points of pressure to break your nose.
Mm-hmm. Dude, what's 6 points of pressure?
I don't know. That's a saying that I learned from Jersey
Oh,
Shore.
okay, well,
I don't know
whatever.
if that's even a real saying, but I know some people probably heard of it. That's when I forget Pauly D or whatever, DJ Pauly D said
Uh-huh.
that shit.
Dude, I saw him in
Pounds
Vegas.
or
He's, I think, like a
points or
stripper
whatever.
now in Vegas. That's anyway, that's another conversation.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, dude, that's so fucking weird. Like the zero tolerance. Like if you're in a fight, why is it wrong? Especially if you didn't start it, because sometimes it really is cut and dry. Like I'm getting bullied. I'm just doing my thing, and people come over and they're bored and they want to beat my ass. And I'm supposed to curl into a ball, and if
See?
I don't do that, I'm gonna
See?
get in trouble.
That's where
maybe
the
I'll have a
weak-
record.
It's like weak shit again. I personally, if you hit me, I'm hitting you back. Simple.
Seems
It is
fair.
what it is.
There's a part of me that well,
But then again, I could see the other side too. Like,
you don't want to promote
but,
fights.
yeah. But I mean, hey, at least they both got in trouble and not just one or the other.
Yeah.
Like, oh well, you punched him, Christian. He only headlocked you. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
dude,
like,
some
at least they
stupid-ass
both. It's
measurement
better
like
that they both got in trouble than no one got in trouble,
Mhm.
or they both get in trouble and no one gets in trouble. But at least it was a little more fairish. But if someone hits me, hit him back. Hey, hit him back. I'm gonna raise my daughter to do that.
Yeah.
And
I-
I'm sure some people would be like, "You're sick." No, my daughter's gonna defend herself. I don't need nobody taking advantage of her.
Yeah. Fuck
Period.
that. Mhm.
Period.
Dude, I can't wait to teach my kids if I have any self-defense. I wonder, like, I feel like there's a part of me that thinks they should teach that in school. I don't even know if that's the right way to say it, but
Yeah, they should. They should, or they should have a lot more staff and hand. I don't know.
and
I
even
don't know.
like even that, dude. How do you?
I don't
Did you
know.
remember all the shit that would go down in bathrooms?
Oh,
Like,
hell yeah.
oh, that's where the fight's going down.
Bam, bam, bam. No camera, no nothing.
Yep. Yeah.
That's how you do it, I guess.
Mhm.
See, like the good old days was good. Now it's like, you know what I mean? He pushed me like it's like too soft.
That's weird. I
Everything's just
hear
too
that a lot.
soft.
It's hard for me to tell how true that is because I'm not again living in it.
Yeah, well, with Wanda being a principal,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Wanda's. I think Wanda's pretty lenient and cool. I think she's kind of like me with that kind of stuff, but she also thinks it's a little too soft. Like, get over it. You know, words don't really hurt and shit like
Oh,
that.
but that can get weird, man.
but then-
Because
but then you
words
got,
can fuck you up.
like, who the hell knows? Let me ask you a question.
Shoot.
Committing suicide, that's illegal, right?
I've heard things about it. I'm not 100% sure, but I've heard it is.
Okay, that's all I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
Because it's just, you know, bullying and shit like that leads to suicide, this, that, and the third, and then it's illegal and this, that, and the third. But I find it funny that abortion's not illegal.
Okay, fine. You want to get
Yeah,
into the
don't get me
Let's get into
going,
the
man.
No,
Don't
we're
get
getting
me going.
we're getting going into
You
the
know what I
abortion
mean? Don't
thing.
be a hypocrite. That's the problem.
Okay, so let's dive into this. You, like you say, you're pro-life,
I am.
which is an interesting thing. Why do you think that life? When do you think life starts, and why?
Conception.
Why? Why do you think that?
Life begins at conception because it's like a fact. You could look that up.
Well, I want you to explain it to
So
me.
life begins at conception. Like what I don't like, for example, is when people say, use a condom, right? Well, let's say I use a condom and I bust in the condom, right? Obviously, that's what a condom's for. Well, life, because people be like, well, if you're pro-life, then you should not be you should not be pro-condom because
all those sperm are dying.
Exactly.
And you
But
shouldn't
it's
even never masturbate.
Exactly. But life doesn't begin until the sperm meets what? The egg.
Why do you think that's when life starts?
Because that's when it starts doing its thing, forming into you, me.
So you're saying just because...
So if they don't meet, it's all good. Like, I hate when people like to argue with me about that because that's like stupid argument.
Well, no, I think that's a really important
You know what
part
I'm
of
saying?
this argument.
You know what I mean?
Like,
'Cause-
okay, here's the analogy that I've heard
Yeah.
used. If you put the ingredients to a cake into an oven, is it a cake?
if you put the ingredients of a cake into
And you turn the oven on, is it a cake?
is it a cake? It's developing to become a cake.
And then I've heard that analogy
When it comes
used
out
like
or
it's
whatever.
not a human yet, it's developing to become a human, but it's not a human yet. It's in the process of becoming one. It's like it's the cake being
Right.
cooked.
Right.
That's at least the argument, one of the analogies
Yeah.
I've heard against it. And it's hard for me to, it seems to be hard all about pinpointing where does life begin. Can we draw a clear
as
dot?
soon as that nut hits the egg, I'm not in the vagina, I can't see, but grand scheme of things, as soon as they go like that, hopefully the video got it. As soon as it goes like that, that's
Chris
it.
is tying
as soon
his
as they
fingers
meet,
into a
as soon
knot.
as they meet, that's that. Now, if they never meet, all good. You want to bust in a damn tree, you busted on a tree. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
gonna
Like, it's
be-
whatever.
that
It's
should be a
just
teach.
dead cells, whatever, done. Or whatever. And if the
Mhm.
girl, like, you know what I mean? If the girl has no eggs and you're busting in a female, then
Well, that's
It's nothing.
okay. I
But
may
as
ask
soon
this
as
a
they
million
link,
times, and I
that's
don't want to
when-
be annoying about it, but
No.
that's really for me. You seem convinced that it's a fact that as soon as they meet, it is now a
Consent.
human being. Do I have that
yeah,
right?
Yeah, yeah. It's life. You shouldn't stop it from developing.
Well, you're saying
into it.
specifically it's a human life.
Yeah,
you're
it's
saying
life.
it's a human life when they meet,
It's living. Yeah,
and you're saying specifically it's a human that's living.
yeah. As soon as like literally life begins at conception. So as soon as they
Why do you
Bond.
think it begins at conception?
because that's as soon as they meet, it starts to just grow. It's just size wise, and it's just getting bigger. Yes, there might not be a head yet. That comes later, and this, that, and the third. But it's forming. You know what I mean? You got people out here that are like, it ain't a human until it's out. But I believe different. You know what I mean? And I'm also religious too, and I feel like that, you're stopping from a baby being born. Bottom line, life is life, and that's when I feel life begins, is at conception. And it's a fact too. Like if you Google it right now, I'm surprised Google hasn't changed it yet, but if you just Google when does life begin, it'll tell you begins on conception.
Well, just because Google's saying it doesn't necessarily.
well,
make it
scientific.
true.
It's like a scientific fact. I looked into it.
All right, look it up. 'Cause I don't have my phone on me.
Yeah, look, I'll literally just Google it. I got so many texts. People probably like, why the hell is he not answering? Because I try to answer as fast as I can.
Mhm.
When does life begin?
Well, let's look into the explanation of this.
There you go. You see? It's a little more scientifically formal. I know my explanation sucks.
See, but
because-
that's what I want to dig into because I want to know if the explanation is just BS or if there
Yeah.
is a way in which they're explaining it where it's like, okay, this is life begins. Ugh. But
Boom.
wait, no, hold on, because that's a strange statement. Saying life begins at fertilization, does that mean it's saying it's already a
As soon as, like,
developed life, or is it just saying the process of becoming a life is beginning when when fertilization with the embryo?
Yeah, see all these damn scientific words. just
But
blow my
that's,
shit.
I think, where the devil is really in the details with this conversation. Hold on, I'll read this little quote here from Princeton.edu. Life begins at fertilization with the embryo's conception.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as soon as I guess the embryo accepts the sperm, right?
and
Grand
that's
scheme of things. Because it gets annoying.
I'm gonna be
It
a
gets too
nitpicker.
tedious.
See,
in
but
this
I
damn
think
thing.
that's where it's
And-
important to dig through that tedium to figure out the truth behind this topic, right? So, okay, what does that mean? Life begins, and I know I'm gonna annoy the shit out of some people by trying to really dig into this. But are they saying specifically it's now a formed human being, and also how are they defining formed human being, or are they just
Yeah, it
saying the
gets
process? How are they saying that the oven's been turned on?
Like once the ingredients are together, let it rock.
And then it says further, development of the embryo begins at stage 1 when a sperm fertilizes an oocyte, and together they form a zygote. Human development begins after the union of male and female gametes or germ cells during a process known as fertilization. Okay, this is what it's saying. This is where it gets weird for me. Human development begins. It's not saying human development is concluded, meaning a human has been developed. It's saying,
but when does a human fully develop? You're still not fully developed.
That's the question.
You're still not fully, neither am I. See, it gets all fucked up.
Okay, for me,
you know what I mean, though.
I don't. That's why I'm
pro-life. It's when the ingredients mixed. That's it. So, like, for example, let's just make a simple cake. You need an egg. You need
let's see what you think.
What the hell do you need to make a cake?
Don't ask. Maybe flour with sugar.
All right. Put it like this. We have a water bottle. I'll make it simpler. We have a water bottle, and you want to make lemonade, the quick ones. So it's in that like tube thingamajig, and you pour it in. Well, when you pour it in, as soon as you pour it in, you have to still shake it, right? And then you drink it. It's not lemonade until you go like this or whatever. But I feel like once they meet, that's where it begins. So, if the water's just sitting there and the packet's sitting here, see, at least we could have a friendly debate.
Oh yeah.
But there's people out there that won't.
Oh my God, who stab you.
I'm cool, and you are too.
But see, that's a weird thing, man. Let's talk about that for just a split second.
As soon as I go like this, it's forming.
Hold on. First, I want to jump back to what you said about some people would get really aggressive because that's a weird thing, man.
People go nuts.
There's this theory I have. I don't know if it's true, but
it's not just for abortion, though. It's
the hot topics in general nowadays, especially in America. This is a theme I've heard that we get from 0 to 100 real quick. But that gets weird, man, because if you are so confident you understand the truth of the situation, then my theory is shouldn't you be able to listen to all these person's points and stop at any point you disagree with or that you think is incorrect, and then be able to enlighten them? And some people are just like, no,
they're stubborn.
I'm disagreeing,
and that's that.
And sometimes you have a disagreement about what a fact is at all.
Yeah.
And like gravity. Gravity means when I let go of this thing, it'll drop to the ground. No, that's not what gravity means. Well, hold on now. Now we need to have a whole discussion about what the fuck gravity is before we can even talk about. I fucked up my analogy halfway through saying it. But I don't know. You could use like a flat Earth example. Like some people may just disagree with the math that leads you to that conclusion or all the other evidence that leads you there. And that's a whole other weird discussion. But to just allow someone to express the evidence they think they have, and then let's just go over it. Let's just with a fine-tooth comb. Did you ever hear of Daryl Davis?
No.
This is a guy I always love to talk about. He's a black dude, and the reason that's important is because when he was growing up, he was experiencing racism, and he was very curious, like, how can you hate me without knowing me? Like, this is something I'm really curious about.
Right.
And
racism gets crazy too. That's another big one.
Does get crazy.
We could talk about that too.
Oh fuck yeah, I'm down. and so he started to talk to Klansmen. Like through a whole series of events. His story is great. He has an episode with Joe Rogan, Daryl Davis. I highly recommend listening to it if you're curious about it. But he would just have conversations like, all right, why do you think that the white people are the supreme race? And let's just go through your reasoning. And if I have a disagreement, I'm going to point out my disagreement, but respectfully. He really emphasizes I'm going to do it respectfully. And I'm also going to listen to you clearly what you're saying and not just be sitting there waiting with my fact that I can't wait till he shuts up for a second. I'm just going to show like I'm just going to truly listen. And he described it as like you're going over a road. And if I find a pothole in your road, like let's, fill it together. We'll have debates about, phrases in the Bible, genetics, things along those lines. And then if you provided a fact that really struck the person, if they weren't completely shut off to the possibility of them being wrong, well, maybe they would go and research it later, find out he was right. And he would form like years of friendships with these people. And hundreds of people have ended up leaving the Klan just by having these conversations with him. Even like state level Klans leaders, which really shows an interesting thing about conversation, reasonable, respectful conversation. But anyway, going back to the lemonade thing for a second. Okay, is it lemonade after the first sprinkle hits water? So after that one damn thing. So if you took out one particle of that thing, and like just one little dust and dropped it in there, it's not going to taste like lemonade at all. It's not going to look like lemonade at all. It may not even show up in a test, but you're saying that that's lemonade.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's that one sprinkle that, because I mean, see, I should have never used this to work because you need the right ingredient. See what I mean? That's the powder of the lemonade. I'm trying to make it like sperm cells because we have millions, right, that we shoot off. So that's why I say that one sprinkle. That's why. I don't want you to think I'm crazy. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So what I'm saying is all it takes is one sperm cell. So all it takes is one speck, technically. Because, see, this isn't a good, I guess, example when it comes to that question. But that's how I'm referring it to.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll play with that analogy for a little longer.
If you know what I mean. So
let's say you're pouring it in, right? And as it starts to hit the water, do you have to shake it up first and then it's lemonade?
Well,
like, they have to fuse together?
Yeah.
And the shaking up and letting all of the powder pour in the shaking up, that equivalent would be having the human form to a point where the heart's now beating and the brain's now operating and they're breathing within the mom and they're taking it. Like, that when it's now lemonade, so to speak?
Let's put it like this. When does a female show that she's pregnant?
I don't know. That depends on what you mean.
Yeah, everybody, I guess. Is
like,
different.
when can a doctor identify that?
I guess a pregnancy test.
Okay.
When does that identify? See, like,
I don't know. Maybe after a few weeks.
It gets very tedious, but I feel like because if she misses her period, it's like uh-oh. But then we don't know how soon she is.
And even if they miss the period,
does
that mean that there's a human alive in you? Or does that just mean that the cake is baking?
No matter what, the cake is baking. I don't fuck with that clump of cell, just get rid of it thing either. It's just fucked up. I don't know. Very pro-life. It's not right.
So, it's weird.
If you're over here nutting in a female and you know what to expect. And there's no need to just take the life away because
then that can get weird.
You want to be reckless.
That there are some
but then
examples
you start
of
coming
reckless
with the rape shit and all that, and I don't fuck with that either because I actually had a friend. Her sister committed suicide because her father raped her.
God damn.
She got an abortion. Dad blew his own head off,
Jesus
and then
Christ.
she ended up killing herself because she couldn't live with the fact that she aborted her child, and that's why her sister's very pro-life. Crazy, right? I know a lot of damn people. Yeah. So it's fucked. I just feel like abortion's wrong. I feel like as soon as obviously right? You got a damn spider up in here. Spiders don't bother me. It's just I don't need this.
Dude, where is that web even attached
I don't even
to?
know. Probably way up there.
Like if you just hovered your hand over.
I'm gonna try to just grab I can't even grab the web.
Oh, I can see. I don't know if you can where the light's hitting it at the moment.
There you go. I just want them out of here.
Yeah.
But for example, for you to be able to get an abortion, you would know, right?
Know that I'm pregnant?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly. So there you go. Like if you know, then that's the end of that. If you're pregnant, you're pregnant. So if you go and you just flush, whatever, I'm saying flush, but pill or whatever the hell these people do. I don't know how abortions really take place. I don't want to really know because it's nasty. But I feel like as soon as I guess you know and you do that, it's fucked up. I wouldn't do it if I was a woman. You know what I mean? And I also dislike huge where it's my body, my choice. But if it's my body, my choice, but it's my child that's in there, it's not my fault that I'm a guy. Maybe I want the kid and you don't. It's not right. The dad should just get screwed.
You know what I mean? Get weird.
It gets fucked, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It gets really messed up.
In my head, and I don't know what's right in this situation, but I don't know what's right in this situation. Period, right? If someone had a gun to my head and they say you have to vote towards either legalizing it or legalizing it, let's just create this crazy situation. I would say I want it to be legalized up to a point. I don't want someone having an 8-month pregnancy or a 7-month pregnancy where there's a heartbeat in the baby, there's brain function going on, they're moving. And for me, this seems like it's past some sort of weird threshold, right? Like when water's freezing into ice, there's a weird point where it's slush. It's not quite ice yet. And there's a point, I think, where the baby becomes ice, so to speak. It's now a baby. And after that point, I don't want it to, because now I think you're killing a human, you're killing a baby. But there's some weird processing point where it doesn't. And again, I don't know. It just seems to me like it's not. I can't even. I hesitate to even say it seems to me because there's so much ignorance here to say any of that. It gets so weird.
I
in
get
my
what
head.
you're saying, but then again, it's either you're all for it or you're all not for it.
Why?
It's either red or red or black. That's the wrong word.
Red or blue?
It's either white or black. There's no gray.
Why?
So it's either pro-life or you're pro-abortion.
Dude,
There's no,
fuck
like,
that. I feel like that's what people.
Because you got people. I'm pro-life, but if it's a rape situation or that, then I'm pro-choice, and it's like no. It's
Why are you
this way
making it black
or that?
Why are
way.
you saying it's black and white?
That's me. I don't think there's gray. Everybody wants to put gray in everything. You know what I mean? Of course, there's that one damn scenario in everything. You know what I mean? But everybody always wants to put gray to justify and this, that, and the third.
Not even just to justify.
I'm like me personally, pro-life to the core. Life begins at conception. Boom. That's it.
It seems
You know
for
what I
you
mean?
be a lot of feeling based.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it's
there's this intuition I have that at any point it's terrible to do it once they've met. That do I have that right? Like,
yeah, because like for example, you could.
dude,
you
is the
could
sun
ha-
in your
you
eyes right now?
No, I'm totally.
Can I use your hat?
Yeah, swap with me, I guess, or something.
Thank you. Do you want the headphones?
No, I don't need the headphones. You might need to adjust it. I think you have a bigger head than I do.
But continue, please.
Anyways,
Oh yeah, I definitely have I have a fucking wide ass head, bro.
like a little bowl.
Oh yeah, dude, a big ass bowl. I got a bowling ball in my mouth. Shit. Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
So
You care if I have the
if
headphones
you're over
too,
here
bro?
shooting off blanks in a girl, hey, you got lucky, I guess. You know how like people they just want to finish in a female just to finish in a female. If you're shooting off blanks, you're shooting off blanks, and if it's just not connecting or working, it's just not connecting or working, whatever. But if as soon as you know to get an abortion, you know to get an abortion, that's it. You aborted them, and if you didn't, like me, I'm very pro-life. Like, actually. If I'm actually very smart, before I even get with someone, I'll actually ask them what's their view on that, because I don't want to be in a situation where I knock you up on accident or whatever, because
I do
us
respect
men
that,
are animals out here when it comes to this stuff, right? We're
Sometimes.
just clueless and I'm just thinking with my dick, right? Okay. So that's why before I ever do anything crazy with a woman or like fuck around, I ask them, actually, believe it or not, listen, are you pro-life or not? Because I am. And if you are, somehow you get knocked up unintentionally, whatever, because I'm reckless or you're reckless or whatever, I don't want to be in a situation where I'm over here fighting for my child's life because I'm pro-life and you're not.
Dude, that's
And now it's funny. It's funny because women, they like to play these bullshit games. They just tell a nigga what you want to hear. For example, every girl that I've ever been with, I'm pro-life. That's bullshit. They just want to get with you. See, it's fucked.
Why do you say it's bullshit? You just see. It seems like you don't really trust women in
let's
general.
Say you get with 100 girls. You think all 100 really? They just tell you what you want to hear.
I guess you just gotta
know what I
find
mean?
some honest women, then, man.
Well, here's the thing: honest women and what people like to call these hoes, they blend in with each other. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you that I'm like this. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you what you want to hear, just like if I were an honest woman. So you really have to play your cards right, and you really have to get to know a woman. And that's something that
There you go.
That's something that I need to learn now, because I think I've made really bad decisions with girls that I've chosen in my life.
On your lip. You're good.
Perfect. I think I
On
made
the
some.
top part too.
I think I made some very. I think I made some very bad decisions with some girls that I've chosen in my life, and that's one thing that, I now have learned. I mean, I think I've learned, because I've been hit with a lot of shit that girls like to portray something that they're just not, and it sucks because you got honest women out there that are really down for a man, and then you got girls out there that blend in because they have to blend in.
I've seen guys do that too.
It sucks.
Yeah, to have a motherfucker lying. Like, I've been that guy before. I've been that piece of shit.
Oh, it sucks. Because it's like, yo, look, this is what I really want. I'm very no gray, black and white. So I want a good girlfriend. I want a girl that'll support me. I want a girl that'll tell me when I'm wrong and put me in my place when it needs to be. I want a girl that'll ride for me. I want a girl that'll die for me. So if I'm out there in some street fight, best believe you better be swinging with me. You know what I mean? Like, I want a girl that's like me, and it sucks being a guy like me where I tell you what I want, and then I ask you, are you sure this is something that you want to try out? And you fuck me in the end. That's what I hate. Women like to have a knife in the back, to your back while they're hugging you. It sucks, dude. It sucks. I'm a very hurt guy, and I've really learned now. It's just like, yo, listen, I'm gonna just be single till the day I die type shit, because these women, man,
dude,
not all of them, but a lot of them, and I think it's getting worse and worse and worse, because they're really starting to figure out what they can and can't get away with, and it's wrong, because you got these girls that are good, that are really good. There's less girls that are good than bad. I'll tell you that.
I don't know, dude. That might just be from your personal perspective.
They blend the fuck in. You know, if you're my girl, you're my girl. You're not out here over here. Girls don't have guy friends. That's the kind of guy I am. We don't do that. You know, that's just because every guy, if they could stick their dick in the hole, they gonna.
I disagree, dude.
Of course, you got those guys out there that aren't like that, but the vast majority of guys, you know what we want to do. Let's keep it real.
I don't know if it's the vast majority. I've seen guys who are like that. I've been like that at times, but I've also recognized that there are people who have integrity, that there are people out there who are
all about
honest.
loyalty. All about loyalty.
Like, let's keep it simple and call it good people, for lack of a better term, for a second. Like, yeah, who you can trust. Like this, you're my brother, you're my sister, like family type shit. And at times it might be hard to find, but I don't know if it's most people who are willing to stab you in the back and shit like that. That I don't want to say this in a way that's insulting. I don't mean it that way, but that might just be what you've seen from your perspective, like through your lens, for whatever reason.
Yeah, but deep down, I mean, everybody that I know, and I know a lot of people, deep down in the end of the day, we all kind of agree similar with a lot of that kind of stuff, you know? Loyalty's everything. Where's loyalty in today's day? Not as common as it used to be.
I wonder if
where's your stay-at-home lady?
I don't know if that's loyalty.
When you got your back turned, man, you don't know what's going on.
Dude, fuck that. I want to stay at home lady.
Here's the thing, though. This has been around for a long time.
What has?
This, like, cheating and, like, backstabbing and lying and all that stuff. This has been around for a long time. The thing is, now with technology, there's a paper trail. There's a record. This has been going on.
Dude, are you guys, like, going through someone's phone,
you know what I'm saying?
like, secretly?
I mean, that's the thing. You shouldn't have to. But, hey, if the guy really wants to and he has trust issues, the phone should be open. Why not? You got nothing to hide? Who cares? You know what I mean? But back in the day, people got caught less cheating. Way less. Because the technology, that's a big helper. You know what I mean? All I got to do is when you go home, I have a damn little camera and I can see who's coming in and out of my house. Back then, there was none of that. You know what I mean? You don't know what's going on. But that's the thing. I think this has been around for a long time. Yes, do I think it's probably getting worse? Yes, but finding loyalty is very hard because loyalty, just one fuck up, destroys our loyalty. Our trust is gone. Once that trust is gone, it can't be fixed because at the end of the day, it's still there. Never take back a cheater, bro. Don't be dumb. There's too many fish out there, right?
Dude,
so just remember, all the good fish, most likely, most of them are locked down already. You know what I mean? If I know I got a down girl, that's what if I know I got a down girl, why the hell would I give that up knowing with all the shit that I've been through? You know what I mean? I got to keep her. Best believe I want to keep her. I don't want her for the streets. I don't want her to go back out there. I'm going to keep her. I'm going to take care of my peace, and I'm going to treat her right, and I'm going to keep her. Because why am I going to go look somewhere else again? It's unnecessary. I got other things to do. You know what I mean? You want a down girl, it's hard to find. It is. Because there's always something out there that, you know what I mean? I like to prove girls wrong. Prove to me that you're really like that. And I've yet to find a girl that's really like that. It sucks. It is what it is.
When you say really like that, what do you mean? Honest?
Well, straight up. Yeah, honest. 100. 100. You know what I mean? I don't like the girls when they pull this card. I didn't lie. I lied. Well, the only reason why I lied is because I felt like you were going to get mad. You ever hear that bullshit?
I think I've said things like that before to my parents when I was a kid.
Or I lied because like, you know, I didn't want you to like feel some type of way. It's just like, but the truth is always better than the, you know what I mean? Like, it shit hurts, man. But hey, it is what it is. I think I'm very strong now. Now I don't care. Like, for example, I'm having a child, and if you're not straight up, I guess dual custody is. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm not playing that shit. And you ruined it for yourself. And another man could put up with your shit, and he gonna leave your ass unless he's lying to you too. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times a cheater will find a cheater and then they'll be fine because they're both just doing their shit. You know what I mean? But a cheater and a very honest, straight up person, it's not gonna mix because I want this and you're still doing that. You know what I mean?
Dude, that's so weird to.
If you're not,
in my experience,
if you're not the way I want you to be, right? If you're not the way I want you to be, then you're not for me. It's that simple. You know what I mean? Because I'm not saying don't drop everything because of me. But what I'm saying is if you're not that perfect girl for me, if you're not that match, then it's better to just not be a match or try to be a match at all. There's so many millions of people out there, bro. There will be somebody out there that's like you. It's just finding him.
Yeah. Going through the search.
Right? Yeah.
I do agree that searching for the person who is
hard.
right for you, if that's a weird thing to even define, right for you. It does seem difficult. But it's weird. I do want to say this for whatever reason. I don't know why, but
Go for
in
it.
my experience,
Are you single?
Sort of, yeah. At the moment, yeah. There are people who I'm like, there's someone who I'm talking to at the moment, but it's not. It's mostly friend at the moment. There's a lot of reasons behind that I'm not going to get into. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. I haven't had that same experience with people lying and cheating when it comes to girlfriends. I haven't dated very many people, but when it comes to just my experience in that realm.
I try to figure out before I start dating them, you know what I mean? But I don't think I try hard enough. I think I just fall into their lies and bullshit.
Dude, here's a really interesting thing I've been doing lately to kind of really get to know a person, especially in a romantic sense. I like the idea of we're not going to have sex or even any of those weird midway like blowjobs and things along, like none of that for a long time. I'm talking maybe even years.
I got to get to know you?
Yeah, like we need to, let's see if we can be friends.
Listen. If it's like that and cross my fingers you turn out to be like that, I'm all for it. I'll do it. No problem. No nothing. Porn's cheating too. So nothing. How about that?
I wouldn't go that
you know
far. I don't know about that.
I got you. If you got me and you really like that, I got you. But find me someone that's like that. I don't know. It sucks.
It sounds like you want a 50s wife, but hey, if you want what you want, you know.
And I don't like the fact that a girl lied just to protect her image. So she cares about herself over you, which I actually do agree that you need to have self-love before you can love anybody else. But you got to respect the other person. You know what I mean? I know people like to sit there and try to protect their image from their parents, try to protect their image from the streets, from the outside world, this, that, and the third. I know a lot of girls like to protect themselves with that kind of stuff, with how many people they slept with or whatever, etc. There's no need to lie. If I just generally ask, we could take 100 girls right now, and I could ask all of them how many people they've gotten with. They're more hesitant than a male asking a male. A guy would be like, yeah, I got with this many people. A girl, you ever heard the saying, multiply by 3? You know what I mean? It's like a flex for a guy, but it's not a flex for a girl. But that's lying. If somebody asks you, hey, did you get with X amount of people? A mature thing is this. Listen, I've gotten with a series of people, but it's nobody's business.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it.
I'm not even serious. I don't want to tell you. It's 90%
of the people that I know, oh, yeah, 2 or something like that. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many people you gotten with. The past is the past. Yes. Is it nastier? Sure, whatever. But the past is the past. I'd rather you say that it was 100 and you being honest than you saying it was 10 and you're bullshitting. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
A lie's a lie at the end of the day. When it comes to that stuff, I take it serious. I take it personal.
That might just be the circles you're looking for women in. And
who knows? I don't even look for them anymore. They got to come looking for me. Hell with them all. I don't care. Listen, I got a kid on the way. Fuck the women. I'm all about her.
Yeah.
That deserves my loyalty. My little kid's gonna deserve my loyalty. Everybody else comes next. That's how I'm gonna look at it. So I look at it like a blessing. Like my child's gonna be a blessing. But
oh, dude,
these women, man, I'm gonna raise my daughter. to B, I'm going to pray that she turns out like me, very straight up and honest and doesn't want to listen to lies and this, that, and the third.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully she turns out to be a good kid, which I'll shape her into it. Knock on wood. You know what I mean? Because I'm just one person in her life. She's going to have other people in her life, too.
All the friends
you know
and
what I
all
mean?
those sorts of things.
Just mom's going to be different viewpoints. Grandparents, this, that. Cousins, this, that. Friends.
Mm-hmm.
Social media. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
And her own thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Dude, here's the weird thing I've thought about as a... this is going to sound maybe a bit creepy, but fuck it. Let's go into it because I don't know, it seems
Dude, say
interesting.
whatever, bro. I have no filter.
I was listening to this woman just talk about being a mom, right? And talking about as she was coming to maturity. And as she started to mature into like a more sexual part of her life, and she started to wear that sort of like sexual clothing, right? And she described it as, man, when you have and her name's Gabby Reese, a sports car, right? Like, and you just got a sports car for the first time, you might want to like press down on the gas pedal a little bit. You know what I mean? Like just to fear that fucking engine. Like,
I got a sports car.
And when she described
gets old
dressing,
though.
how she like she said, but there was a point where that's how she wanted to dress, and that's kind of the analogy she used for it. And like, oh man, that's really interesting because me from a personal, before I really heard that, I was thinking it almost seems like clothing is getting a little too sexualized at the moment. Specifically, what I've seen with women clothing, because it doesn't seem to have the same power for men, or maybe I'm just ignorant in that realm. But and as I thought specifically, like being a dad, and like what would I want? Would I want to say anything? Would I want to even play a part in what my daughter wears and that sort of shit? But like, if you have that sports car and it's your car, who am I to say?
Right.
Hey, I mean, if you want to drive it, you want to go fast.
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I totally get what you're saying, but I wanted to barge in before I lose my thought.
Mm-hmm.
Never judge a book by its cover.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. I can't stand. I have friends who'll be like, "Yo, I'll be at a party. Look at this girl, yo. She a hoe. Just look at the way she dresses." It's like, hey, it's like, oh, no, don't let that fool you. Because let me tell you something. From my experiences, the nicest, sweetest, huggy-dubby, lovey-dovey type girls, they're the nastiest motherfucking pigs in the damn streets. And I say that shit to all these girls. This is to all you girls that I know, as close and as far. I know y'all. Lovey-dovey, you better go to your mom and tell them how lovey-dovey you really are out there, because you're really not. And yes, those girls out there like to dress like little, what people like to say, hoes. Some of y'all are out there, and some of y'all really hold it down. And I really talk up a good talk, because I like to be like, yo, sometimes I have a lot of girl friends, so I'll be like, nah, like, believe it or not, this girl's pretty, she holds it down. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she likes to like show a little bit of fashion and like, have ripped jeans and like,
and I imagine it's got to feel pretty nice.
And
like,
there's some of these girls that like to look good, like for the eyes or whatever, but they hold it down at home. And then it'll be those girls, man, with the what do you call it? Like the the baggy clothes and shit like that. With the sweatshirts, and they don't like to dress up, but behind the scenes, man, they're not good. It's bad, bro. It's like reverse psychology with that shit. It's like I said, you can't judge a book by its cover. By the way, it's behind the closed doors. What's the true colors? That's what you really want to know.
How to expose? Oh, this is a weird way to say it. I want to say expose because it sounds almost
sucks.
like a fucking CIA agent. But how to see someone's true colors?
It takes a lot of time, because remember, every girl, if she fuck with you, she gonna do everything she can to make you feel or that she is what you want. That's how a lot of them are. A lot of them are not honest.
Wait, say that one more time.
Okay, so if I like, let's say I'm a girl in this situation. You're the man. I really like you. Whatever you say, I will try to make you believe and see this is who I am. But in reality, it's not true. That's not being honest. You know what I mean? It's one thing a girl says, listen, I had a terrible past, straight up. I really like you, and I'm going to give you what you deserve. But then girls say that shit and don't mean it either. They don't follow through. The thing is, if you see a pack, I saw a video today. You see a pack of lions. You're not over here figuring out which one's going to bite you and which one's not. you gonna run. You know what I mean? If you see a pack of girls, yeah, they could all put on this show. Look, they could all put on this show. You know that they're not gonna stab you in the back, but you don't know which one is and isn't. You really got to get to know the person. You got to pray that it all works out in the end.
I was listening to a military commander.
Man.
Military commander's name's Jocko Willink, and he has a great podcast for anyone who's interested. And he's talking about when he has a new person in the squad, right, that he's running, and how do you find out what you can trust them with, right? And he says, okay, you don't give them the most important fucking mission to plan right out of the gate.
Is time everything?
It's not everything, but
That's
I'll combine time with this.
Right.
First, I'll give you a more a small task, right? Like organize the guns or something along those lines. And I'll check up on you, see if you did that right, see if you didn't mess up. All right, I'll give you a task of a little bit more importance. This, that, and you keep going, and pretty soon you start to build trust. You don't have to keep checking up on them because you know they're handling it. They've proved themselves to be reliable, trustworthy. And then eventually you can start to give them the tougher and tougher tasks because you have built a trust with them. And it's not just giving you all the trust at once, right? And I want to combine that with, I was listening to a guy, Tim Kennedy, describe how do you find out what cop is racist, right? This is the example he's using. And you need a high stress environment because that's what will bring that out of the person. You can't just have them in a very low relaxation training. You can have them just running through years of police work, but if there's never a moment of high pressure,
shit,
like there's this day where
when it all hell breaks loose, that's when I feel like you see who's there for you.
Dude, and that's weird because that combines a lot with again, talking about Jocko, he's like, dude, the bonds you form with your military squad are some of the tightest you'll ever form, period. Like, these are the kind of people where you know they have your back. They have proven it in literal life or death situations. You have my back. People say that shit all the time, but how often is it really tested? Like, we're in combat, bullets are coming from everywhere, and I can turn and leave all those enemies. I can forget about them because I know you have them. I know you have them, and I have your back too. And like when you have these squads, what's the first thing you do when you go into the military? Fucking boot camp, right? It's this terrible well, for some people it sucks, right? You're going through difficult shit together, and that makes you rely on one another. It forms a tight bond, and then you go to war, and that's an even tighter bond, a more difficult thing, and the bonds get tighter and tighter. So it makes me wonder, is there a reasonable, good way to integrate that into daily life, right? Like with your friends, with your relationships and things along those lines.
The thing is, you could be put into test with that. Like, a situation could happen, and you could really say, like, wow, you really had my back. You know what sucks? When they have your back for all these years, and one day they just don't. That's when it's like every human's different, and I feel like you need to just find the right person for you and just hope for the best. But it sucks when you invest your time in someone that's not like that. Because, bro, I don't think in the end of the day, who are you born with? By yourself. Who do you die with? By yourself. At the end of the day, I feel like you really deep down only have yourself.
I don't know.
And there could always be someone that could come as close to that. But at the end of the day, trust may never be 100% because there could be that one time they fuck you.
Dude, that makes me... I've heard this being a common theme in... Okay, here's a great analogy to use. I've heard a lot of soldiers, when they come back into society, they miss the military. And there's a guy, Sebastian Younger, who's a war journalist, who was investigating this phenomenon. And based on his findings, he's like, it's not that a lot of these guys miss adrenaline of war. They're not all these just crazy adrenaline junkies. They don't miss killing people. They're not psychopaths. What they missed was that brotherhood. Because when they come back into this society, you don't know who you can trust. Right. The way that it's built is that oftentimes you don't get to really see people's true colors in these high stress, high pressure situations. And so a lot of these soldiers miss the brotherhood. Like, you're around these people a lot of the day that, like, in a really physical way, I'm constantly surrounded by my brothers. These people who, even if I don't like you, like, we're part of a brotherhood. We don't have to be great friends, but I know you have my back and I have your back, and we can trust one another. And to have this true, honest trust, that's something that I have felt like maybe we're missing in today's day and age, like building up that 100%. Like, there isn't a question. Question has been removed. I know I can trust you with my... Let's get extreme for a second.
My all.
My all, yeah. My fucking bank accounts. I know you could have, like, you could hang out with my girl. Like, I don't know, I'm overseas or something on a trip and she's bored and you two are hanging out because you're friends and I don't worry about it for a fucking second. Like I know she's your sister. Period. There's not like if I go to hang out with a cousin, the boyfriend's not worried like, oh, they're gonna fuck. It's just ew. Like ew. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Fucking...
Well. Here's the thing. You're like that. I'm like that. That ew. What the heck, bro? There's people out there that will get with your brother and your friend. And
Ooh.
this
Well,
and
let's put that aside because I'm not
It's-
completely
it's-
shy of that,
it's,
and
it's nasty.
Yes.
And I've heard some serious nasty shit, and I've seen some serious nasty things that people have done. And I know a couple girls that do this nasty stuff, and like I just want to knock them the fuck out. But hey, it is what it is, bro.
So let's remove that for a sec because that does put a weird feeling in my gut.
At least me and you are like that with that one, because there's people out there that, I got with him, but I got with him too, and just keep it at that.
Like with their family. That's I'm not even gonna. We're not even
It's
gonna.
nasty.
It is. But like, how to not be that? How to be with your homies, girl? Because this is something I've been thinking about. Because I haven't always been that person who I can trust myself 100%. Sometimes I felt that little voice speak up in my head, and it's had more power than I'd like to admit.
Just go try to like test the waters on her.
It's been
and that's your boy's girl.
that I felt
That's
that
fucked,
spirit.
man.
Yeah, I'm like, how do I kill that?
That ain't
how
right.
do I?
Yeah, that ain't right.
Mhm.
I don't think I've ever really. That's fucked.
Yeah.
At least now, no, I couldn't do that. I know a lot of girls have done that though, but
I think I've gotten a lot better at being a guy who's loyal.
my brothers
has
are chilling.
integrity.
I ain't doing you dirty, bro.
Mhm.
And let me tell you, if I catch your girl doing you dirty, I'm
I'm gonna tell you.
snitch.
Yeah.
Oh,
fuck
and
yeah.
if you doing your girl dirty, I'm snitching too.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, because ain't no need to be in that. It's a waste of time. Period. It's not right. If you're putting your all in and she's putting her all in and she fucks you over, you fuck her over, I got both your backs because I'm gonna stand for what's right. That's the problem that I don't like. There's a lot of parents out there that you be like, yo, and they just sit there and be like, I just act like I didn't see it. It's just like, yo, no, stand for what's right and wrong. Ain't no none of this. But then you got people out there be like, but it's not wrong. It's all the way
that's how you stand.
Society puts the perspection. You know, it gets real tedious. But we all kind of know what's right and wrong.
That's a weird one, man. Because sometimes I don't know if it's so clear. Because for you seem like you have a black and white mind. Like
Very
you can
straight up. Yeah.
Mhm. Sometimes I have a lot of gray pop in, and sometimes I admire someone who's very black and white, and you can say like, "This is right," and I know it's right. Period, and that's it.
If you have a guilt, it's wrong.
Mm.
You ever get that feeling where you're just like, I know I shouldn't do this, whatever it is,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna fucking do it anyways.
Like it's fucking weird, man.
You know?
So then how to be a person with integrity. How to be a person who knows, first off, what's right and what's wrong, and then acts on it, and then actually sticks to what's right. How to have a solid moral compass and then actually follow it.
Have you ever told your friend, like, yo, listen, I was thinking about trying
Yeah.
Woo!
They had already...
I give that to you. I like that. You're a man for that.
They broke up. They were broken up at that point.
Well, at
So
least
maybe...
you're a man for that, and you spit it out. I fuck with that. That's something a lot of people that I know wouldn't do.
And there's some deeper levels to that. I still want to have conversations with them
Sick.
about... Because that is something that I look at. I'm like, dude, I've heard, like with Jocko specifically, where he was having a similar conversation with one of his podcast hosts who was in the military, this, that, whatever. And the guy's like, the other guy, not Jocko, was describing, oh, you maybe have your bros sometimes who you're not quite sure whether they want to get with your girl. And Jocko kind of like stopped him and he's like, well, that's not your brother. Like, that's your bro. But that's not your fucking brother. And that's like, how do I be...
But his blood is
not even like blood. Not
yeah, but is brotherhood defined by blood?
No.
I agree.
At least in that from his perspective. And there's a part...
Brotherhood is not defined by blood, bro.
Mm.
Family's not defined by blood either.
Can I have some of your water?
Take the whole damn thing.
Thank you.
If anything, I'll get another one. But can we agree? Family's not defined by blood, bro. Family fucks family over. Just because we have the same damn blood don't mean shit. At the end of the day, not everybody's religious, but at the end of the day, we're what? We're all God's children. Period. So at the end of the day, is family defined by blood?
Mm.
I don't think so. Because you got family that'll fuck family over. We're humans. So humans that'll fuck humans over, humans that won't. humans that make mistakes, humans that learn from mistakes, humans that don't make mistakes. You know what I mean? Like,
Do you
got
think there are
different-
humans that don't make mistakes?
You get what I'm trying to say, though.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not being like obviously it's like, yeah, mistake. Like, everybody makes a mistake. That's a fact. Nobody's perfect, right? But like again, do people make mistakes? Learn mistakes? There's a million different people, and I feel like family does not mean shit. I'm very hardcore with that one. Family don't mean shit. We share the same blood, don't mean shit. At the end of the day, we're all God's people, right? So we're all the same shit. So family's not defined by blood. The word family is defined by that relationship that you want to declare it as family. You and your homie. You and your, I don't know, teacher. I don't know, whatever it is. But
like the relationship you have. It's
that
the type of
relationship.
relationship.
Yes,
you're
the
saying.
type of relationship is the family that you have, not the family defined by blood. I'm sorry. That's one thing that a lot of Hispanics like to always say, like, because I'm in a Hispanic household, family's always got your back. Families that, no. Wrong. I don't agree. What about you? Do you feel the same way? Do you feel what I'm trying to say? Family's defined by the relationship?
When I ask that question, what pops up in my head is, yeah.
You agree?
Yeah, defined by the relationship. And we can get into
Fuck with
the
it.
tediousness of
Yeah,
what
like-
exactly is family.
Yeah,
But I
like,
get what you
yeah.
mean, like the bond.
The bond, yep.
The
yep,
people who are like, I know have my back
Yep.
and who I can trust.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's defined by what? I don't know.
Yeah. I can't explain it. I suck at explaining it, but at least you understand what I'm saying.
When I ask myself, was it defined by the answer that comes to mind for whatever that's worth is, it's defined by the experiences you have with that person.
Yeah. And that relationship and that bond and that trust and that, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, hey Chris, I'm getting a little chilly out here. Do you have anything that could help me with my chilliness?
Whoa. Are you actually saying that we're cold? You're cold right now?
No.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Because now I'm thinking, like, sick. Wait, you're saying it's getting a little cold.
No, I'm doing that. Give me the hoodie.
Oh, you're cold.
No, I'm not actually cold. I said that because you didn't hand me the hoodie, the Christopher Lawn Care Service hoodie, and I thought
Right.
for some reason felt like that was an appropriate moment to
Right.
promote the. It's
Here
a
you
weird
go.
transition, I admit.
I was so confused. I was like, wait a minute.
Fair
are you
enough.
cold? You
That
wanna
was
take this
one of those
inside?
hardcore
I was like,
180
do you want to take this inside? Like, okay. You want that hoodie, not my hoodie. Okay, yeah.
Christopher Lawn
Christopher
Care.
Lawn Care. Yes, that's my company. Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna put
We're
this baby
expanding. We're
on.
growing, and I can't wait for spring, even though fall just became fall. I'm actually going to try to expand my business, and instead of blowing money like no tomorrow, get my daughter to start cutting grass with me as soon as possible. I don't know. Something like that. Cutting grass, demoing houses, whatever it is.
Dude, can people buy
Landscape
these hoodies? 'Cause it's so
construction.
comfy.
Yes, they can. I will actually probably give you a link or something.
Where
like that.
can they buy it?
On my website, ChristopherLawnCare.com.
This is actually really comfy.
No, they're nice, and they're very clean and just clean.
Mhm.
Christopher Lawn Care with the simple logo. That's me. Just very simple, nice, bold. Name is everything, and I feel like reputation's everything when it comes to business, and quality over quantity and all that. Yeah. Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
I find that, well, in some of the shirts I found where people are selling their shirts for their product or whatever, that they miss the mark where they don't invest in a really nice quality material, where it really feels good, like it's a solid fabric, flexible, comfortable. They'll maybe just go for cheaper just to let's just get shirts out there.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is really what makes someone want to get the shirt, that
It's
it's
nice.
comfy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I got a lot of people that actually want that shirt. So I'm thinking maybe hit it with some different colors,
Christopher
etc.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
Oh,
Do you have a logo for your? Oh, is it the?
yeah, it's
the
that. Yeah,
snow,
real simple. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Simple and clean, bro.
Simple and clean, dude. That's everything. You don't need to do all this fancy stuff, bro. Because at the end of the day, it's your quality and it's how you are as a business owner that sets you apart. You know what I mean? Nobody cares about all that. It's, hey, is Chris coming? I love Chris. I love his guys. I love his crew. I love this. I love that.
And their
about
work,
him.
yeah, fuck
That's
yeah.
it.
You combine that nice package, that
Yep.
tight-knit package.
At the end of the season, I try to be real nice. Hey, I hope you have us next year. Oh yeah, no, hands down. Of course, you're gonna lose some customers. Can't satisfy everyone, but the vast majority part is you want to expand by growing customers and that loyalty, that bond.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, if I learn how to stop blowing money, I'll be a multimillionaire, no problem.
Fuck yeah. And
It's
this feels
just
like
I'm getting that last little bit of, I guess, youth before my child comes. But once that child comes, she gonna be out there working. And then when she gets 17 or whatever age, guess what? When my daughter says, Dad, I want a Porsche or I want a Mustang, like me, I'm a big Mustang guy. Hopefully,
dude, how did you not fucking kill yourself
or if I
with
want
that goddamn Mustang?
yeah, this is my fourth one and I'm still alive. But
Thank
hey,
God.
I try not to drive it anymore because I know we're now starting to go at real electric, and I'm not an electric fan, so I'm gonna try to preserve what I have now, and it's real nice. It's
You think
quick.
you'd ever want a Tesla? The super speed, silent,
I'd have a
stealthy?
Tesla like maybe like a daily, but I feel like it's like a disrespect to like the gas industry. So I like when I have a lot of diesel trucks and this that. So what I like to do is I like to just power diesel.
The noise.
I like the motor. I like gas. I like diesel.
My
Not
dad's
a
the same.
fan.
Yeah.
Not a fan of. Oh, your dad's.
Oh,
Dad's
yeah.
Like that?
He's like, yeah, I know that's where it's going, better for the economy and the world, but man, the feeling and the sound behind.
Is it better though?
Well, perhaps over the long term, there's some.
Maybe in the long term, but I personally think that I'm here for how long? I don't really care what happens later on.
But what about your kid?
It ain't changing until the kid's born either. When she's old, it'll be the same shit still.
I don't know, man.
I think this takes hundreds of years for it to actually transition. So I'll be like long forgotten. I won't even be thought of. But we probably won't even be living on Earth anyways by then. So who cares if they fuck Earth up? I think eventually we'll be able to get out of here anyways. So who knows? I can't predict the future. But I can tell you about the damn past. I mean, based on the books, right? Because the books are written by man too. So at the end of the day, stories are stories and books are books. And you know what I mean? Live in the moment and be the best you can be. But what determines that? Who knows? I guess it's determined by yourself.
That was a long spiel. Are you talking about the environment now, or are you talking about living a life?
Just in general, just environment, everything, past, future, present. We don't know what the hell is going to happen in the future. So I like my gas. I like my gas. I like my diesel. I like my power. And I could care less if I'm making holes in the damn whatever. I don't know. Hey, at the end of the day, I'm not a scientist and I don't really know what's going on. So it could just be bullshit. It could just be a money move for people. There could be, I don't know if we're really ruining ozones. Who knows if they're even real, right? Have we ever really landed on Mars? Have we this? Have we that? Who knows? Me and you are just regular people. We don't
So
know.
you say that about the climate.
We don't know shit. Is the climate really changing, or is it just something that happens on Earth? We had an ice age, but what caused the ice age? Oh, a meteor or whatever happened. But how do we know that really happened? This, that, and the third, and it keeps going. So at the end of the day, we're just let whatever takes its course. I mean, everything that we're using is from here, so how bad could it really be?
Pretty bad. I would get like atom bombs are made from materials.
Exactly,
From here.
and then it blows up the Earth. But I feel like me and you have no control over that.
And see, that's weird for me, man, because you seem very passionate about the pro-life thing, but then that seems to be a lot of scientific debates surrounding.
It's so many debates because at the end of the day, you only know what people want you to know and hear.
I
hate
know.
when you watch TikTok and you hear like the Matrix. Everybody talks about Top G, right? You into TikTok?
Not really, no.
No, you don't hear about nothing about like that. You got people that are controlling the world, Illuminati and all that extra shit. Listen, if they don't want you to know certain things, they won't let you know certain things. So don't sit there and think that you're something that you're really not, You got a lot of people, a lot of conspiracies and all that, but hey, some of them could be real, some of them could not be real. I don't really know. I'm just the guy that goes and I just have my little business and, I do what benefits me, I guess, in the end. Fuck everybody. You know what I mean? You see all these people with the BLM shirts and the White Lives Matter shirts now, and it's a big problem. Fuck all lives, in my opinion. Fuck them all. I don't care. If you want to wear this shirt or that shirt and there's a problem, then you really got issues.
You're weird, man. You're full of contradiction.
It gets all over the place.
But I guess that might be a part
of
of
it. You know what I mean?
nature.
It's just human nature, yeah, because you got, is there a thing with BLM?
Because you say fuck all lives, but then you say you're very pro-life.
I'm very pro-life, exactly. So
but then you say you don't care about the future, but you care about your daughter's future.
These babies are innocent. You know what I mean? That's what I don't.
Well, how do you know they're even babies? If the science could be so complex, just like with the climate.
Well, here's the thing. You know what I mean? It gets real tedious because now you're getting tedious. You're using what I'm thinking about something else to something else, which I do understand. But, you got people out there, right, that wear a Black Lives Matter shirt. And then you got people out there that wear a White Lives Matter shirt. if people are really judging each other over a goddamn shirt, bro, you got issues.
That gets weird. 'cause,
I'm gonna
like, what
fuck
if I
around.
had-
I'm gonna fuck around and start wearing a No Life Matter if you want to really get down and dirty. You know what I mean? One thing that I don't like about these pro-abortion people that I like to bring up a lot is like, okay, you have a problem. You know, it's a problem if to some people if you abort children, right? But then, you know, that's because you're taking somebody's innocent life away, right? You're choosing their life for them. They have no say. You're choosing the developing, if you want to say, when a natural development, right, for itself, right? Whatever the people like to say thing. I say life begins at conception. So for me, you know what I mean? You're killing it. You're killing it. But then you got people out here that are committing suicide. They're like, stop suicide prevention. But you're taking your own damn life. So I don't want to hear it. It's very hypocritical all over the place.
I think the suicide prevention thing would be more about mental health awareness.
So
let's make people have a high enough quality of life so they don't want to kill themselves.
So if you do choose, listen, at the end of the day, I want to kill myself. I'm going to kill myself. It's my life, and nobody should stop me. Then have at it. But then I don't want to hear these damn people talking about, pro-abortion, but they want to bitch and complain about somebody committing suicide. You get what I'm trying to say?
I don't think there's exactly
Okay, so when you're pregnant and you have a baby, I don't give a shit if it's 1 day old or 100 days old or if it's ready to pop in tomorrow. I don't care. Grand scheme of things, if you're going to kill that innocent thing or whatever, right? People like to say, I like to call it life, human. If you want to kill that and make that decision for itself, right? Then that's your belief. But I don't want to see you sitting here trying to stop somebody from committing suicide if that's what they want to do with themselves. That's very bullshitty and hypocritical.
Well, I think it's hypocritical. Well, okay, let's see if I got this right. It seems to be hypocritical from your perspective because you're already assuming that there is a life that the abortion is taking away. But let's just say that some of those people who are against suicide do not believe there's a life there yet. So you're not killing a life. You're stopping a life before one has existed in the abortion case. And in the suicide case, there's already someone who's guaranteed alive and that for whatever reason is in such a poor state that they want to kill themselves. And that also gets weird because...
But we have to fact check that stuff, though. We have to know when does life begin? And by fact, it begins at conception. You know what I mean? So life is life. Human life is human life. Life is life. At the end of the day, life is life. You know what I mean? It's just, it gets very, very fucking anal with all this stuff. That's why, like, when you're trying to put pin on me, I'm over here like, yeah, I'm all about, if you want to wear a No Lives Matter shirt, fuck everybody's life, then fuck everybody's life. That's fine. But it's like, I believe choosing someone's life is wrong. But when you want to bring up the gas situation, right, and it's saving the environment, saving the world, but that's what you think. You know what I mean? I think that gas is fine. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm saying
so
if
it all
science...
comes down to your own beliefs. But the thing is, science, who are these scientists? You know what I mean? Who are these people? These aren't people you know or I know. We don't know. We're going off of what people tell us, what we hear. So what's the truth? It all comes down to that. What's the truth? Are you going to listen to everything somebody tells you? Are we really damaging this earth? Or is that just a cycle? It gets real fucked up.
Well, there does seem to be a question there, right? And I don't know if we would both agree that the answer is important, right? Because if we are, let's say if, I'm not saying we are, I'll just play with the if for a second. If we are, through our carbon emissions, fucking the planet up to a point that in the next few decades, life will be catastrophically worse, and that for our kids, if...
And I don't think so.
Well, let's just say if. Wouldn't it be important to figure that out and stop it now?
Sure, but not by making electric using other stuff to generate electricity when that's doing bad shit too.
Well, then it's a matter of which is worse. Because
exactly. Well, I think it comes back down to, okay, let's go back to the good old days where we had nothing then.
Well, what if we can find a way to produce energy where it's enough energy without having those not worth it negative effects that carbon emissions could potentially be causing, right? Like with nuclear power.
Well, who's to say who's to say that we can't undo all these damages that we did in these ozones? See what I'm saying? So is it really that bad? What if technology really comes out and we're like, all right, well, we could keep doing gas and just reverse the ozone stuff.
Well, now we're playing with what ifs based on what we know.
Yeah,
And there's an
exactly.
interesting point you bring up about like how do we decide who to trust when it comes to? Are you just gonna listen to everything everyone tells you?
You can't, because I don't believe in the whole COVID thing.
That is it. Well, we can leave that aside for a second, but just like
real crazy.
when it comes to listening to a professional, right? Like if a doctor looks at you and says, you have cancer that you can't detect, and I can detect it due to my expertise and knowing what to look for and due to these measurements. Should you trust that doctor?
Was cancer man-made?
Maybe some of them.
Or was cancer always around? Or is cancer just a word that people can't really explain?
I don't know, but do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where it comes to, I don't
totally
know.
get it. Is there a cure for cancer, or they don't want to release it because they want money? Because we seem pretty advanced, but are we really that advanced? That's when it gets to like, okay, we got UFOs, this, that, and the third. Are there extraterrestrials, or is that all just here? Or is that all just what you're seeing? I feel like, bro, I really do feel like there's a lot of things out there that are set to believe it's all based on money in the end. All of it comes down to money. You really think people care about people killing each other on the streets? Do you really think the government cares about you?
I don't think government.
I don't think any of them. Yeah, fuck the government. There's
there's
probably other people out there higher up than them you just don't know about.
Well, that's not what I meant.
Just like the military, right? Everybody says, the special ops. Everybody likes to talk about Navy SEALs or like, what is it, the Delta Force or the Marines have one too. They all have a stupid special force, but the real special force, the best special force, you don't know about it. You're not going to know about it. They wouldn't want you to know about it.
How do you know that? If you wouldn't know about it, how could you know that you don't know about it?
See, then it gets
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, it gets all anal. It gets really, really annoying with all the, I think do we live in a fucked up world? Yes, but I think the world really at the end of the day is controlled by money. Money empowers everything. I think it's controlled by everything.
I don't know. Hard to figure out.
Banks? Who's behind the scenes? Who's behind the scenes to everything? Joe Biden's fucking nothing. Trump is nothing. It's what's happening behind the doors. You know what I mean? These people are just low-key probably puppets. What's going to happen is going to happen. If they want to divide people, they will. And the thing is, they have the power to do it because the people don't have the power to do it. What is a stupid little gun going to do compared to a missile? I
don't know, man. All these conspiracy theories get weird.
It gets wild.
Yeah.
That's
especially since conspiracies, what I've heard, and this
try
is
to be
something
the
that
best
clicks a
person
lot
you could
with
be.
me.
That's it. And you're entitled to your own self. And if, not everybody believes in God, I do, but I feel like if you're the best that you could be and you truly believe that and you do the right thing, which is defined by people, I feel like at the end of the day, you're going to have an afterlife in heaven. Or if you're bad or whatever, you go to hell. But who are you to say that? And who am I to say that? At the end of the day, I don't know. That's
I'm now thoroughly
confused.
confused.
That's why I'm very it gets very confusing. It gets very, very, very confusing. But I like my gas cars at the end of the day. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I think there's something more to that electric powered vehicles that you just don't know about because it's too new. You don't know what the hell's going on. Actually, it's not new. But
I don't know, man.
It's new now.
I have not dug into the science with a deep enough level of expertise and personal study to say with 100% certainty all the effects that are happening to the climate, what the current technologies will do to that climate.
Is gas really doing all the damage, or is it other stuff?
Where does power lie in society? Is it with us?
Go.
Is it with the ideas, movements, money, cities, all the conspiracies? Who knows?
Yeah.
And to figure that out,
I feel like you have to
just
become your own scientist and do your own tests to see,
to find truth, to be your own scientist. Yeah, man. Yeah. That's something I've been struggling a lot with lately, trying to figure out what the fuck is real, what is true. Yeah. And a lot of those things that I have.
People want you to hear. And
well, dude, something as simple as the earth being round or being flat.
Right?
I don't know.
Right?
That's going to be a ridiculous statement, but let me talk about that for a sec. Yeah, fucking go for it. And if I fucking drag on too long at any point,
bro, drag on as long as you want, dude. We're having a perfectly fine
right.
I feel like there's a lot of people who would like to listen to this.
Well, fuck yeah, if they do, enjoy. But okay, fucking, what was I gonna dive into? Yeah, Earth being flat, Earth being round. Have I personally experienced the information necessary to know 100% that the Earth is round? No. What have I experienced? I've experienced the majority of people that say it is. I've experienced people who seem credible and understanding these things, or have been given those credible titles, say that it is. But have I done the math? Have I looked at the world from a perspective in which I could see whether it's round or flat? No. And yet, weirdly enough,
But when you look at the world, right, you can't lie. It does look like it goes like this, does it not?
I don't know, it looks really bumpy. There's a lot of hills here.
Yeah, but look at the sky. It goes like that.
How do you know it's going like that and not just going like
And just bullshitting you, right?
Dude, it's weird. It strikes me like when a doctor gives you medication, how often do you do a deep dive into that medication to really know what you're taking? Or do you just like, I'm just going to trust you? And it's a weird
My
thing.
friend just became a doctor, and he told me there's a lot of shit that you don't know that you don't want to know, but just know that a lot of shit is bullshit.
It's hard to
Take
figure
this
out,
pill.
man. Because like, how
It's
much
just
time are you really going to
Money and
dedicate?
insurance.
Dude, how much time are you really going to dedicate to studying all these different subjects to reaching a point of I know? And at what point do we just trust people? Trust your mechanic, trust your dentist, your doctor, your chiropractor, this, that, and the other, and just like, all right, I don't know if what you're saying is true, but here's what I can do. Like you said, to be your own scientist, I can test it. I can take my car to the mechanic, and there's a problem going on. Maybe the brake, there's this screeching sound. I take it to you. I'm going to test out to see whether you can remove that that fucked up part of the car. And if you do, now I begin to gain this, it seems to me, relationship with you, where now I have a little bit more trust in you. Like, we're now going full circle to trust what we were fucking talking about earlier. And I'm conducting these tests, and I do that over years. And I find out that, you know what? I'm going to say that at the very least, when I take my car to you and leave it with you, my brakes now work. My fucking...
1 second.
Yeah, do your thing.
Action.
Yeah, action. Fuck
Sorry
yeah, dude.
about
So
that.
you're good.
I had to take
Has
the
some
call.
business. But yeah, man, to be your own scientist, to do your own tests.
Yeah.
Because it's a strange thing. How often, at least in my life, I've noticed how often I fucking...
Is the truth being told?
Yeah, and how much I've written off in my head, categorized something as fact or as truth without really knowing. Because I've been finding recently there is very little I actually know. Like 100%.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm like a wise ass with this kind of shit, because it's like, miss me with that bullshit.
Dude, but this is a weird thing, right? Okay, so let's say you're on a ship,
Yeah.
and the captain has, from what you've heard, from what they've said, their reputation, they've done hundreds of ship rides through this treacherous ocean, and this is your first time going on it, and you go on it with them. How much are you going to take their word as fact? You know what I mean?
Yeah, see, a little bit more, but it's that one time when they fuck you in the end.
If they fuck you, it sounds like you've had some trust pain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Deep. And everybody I hang with, too.
Yeah.
I guess I finally found people that are kind of connected to me. Like, yeah, man, fuck these people. Fuck that people. Trust no one. You know, you ask my mom, trust no one. I'm sure my mom's gotten fucked over quite often. And it's not the same thing. Like, we all got screwed over in a different way. Screwed over at the end of the day is getting screwed over, though. You know what I mean? Getting fucked over is getting fucked over, whether it's with a girl, whether it's at your job, whether it's this, whether it's that, whether it's bad luck. Who the hell knows?
A shot to
Let me
the
ask
old
you a quick
trust
question.
department.
I know this is
Yeah,
random.
dude, ask whatever
Is
you want.
Is
by the way.
karma legit?
I don't know. Well, define it. What is karma?
Well, karma, right? Hypothetically, is behind your back, I stole from you.
Mhm.
A day later, I get into a car accident. Oh, that was karma. Is it though? Is it, or you just have that guilt from what you have? You remember, and then when something actually happens to you, you're like, oh, it's because of that. I think karma might not be real, but it could.
I'll say
be
it like
real
this:
too, you know,
if someone put a gun to my head and I had to bet, is karma real in that way? Like I stole from you, and then some cosmic force made me get into an accident. I would say no, I don't think that form of karma is real. Again, if I had to bet. But I'll say this. This was a really interesting thing. Interview with Lex Fridman, and I forget the guy's name, but he was essentially a mob boss for internet crime. And he was saying with a lot of this internet crime, there is a low chance of you getting caught and arrested.
yes,
But, and this is the thing that really stuck with me, he said, I still highly recommend you don't do it because you will get fucked in the end if you live this lifestyle. And the reason why is because the kind of person you have to become to live this kind of lifestyle, the
Right.
person who lies and cheats and fucks people over, right? Like taking a grandma's money who thought they were getting money to put in the, like, seal up holes in their roof, and now they have leaks in their house as an 80-year-old woman. Like, you're stealing money from that. You become that kind of person. That is what will fuck you in the end. Even if you don't get arrested, that kind of life, you will feel, it will corrupt your life.
It'll
You'll
eat you
feel
up.
putrid. Yeah, your
But would
relationships
it?
with
But
people.
would it?
In his experience with all
See,
the
in
people,
his-
and with all the people, well, from what he's, if I remember correctly, the people he interacted with, the kind of relationships you would form by being that kind of person, inherently you're going to miss something really key to being human, to living a good life. And he said that's what's going to fuck you. So in that way, I think that sort of karma, if I had to bet, I think I'd bet that sort of karma is
Yeah.
real.
There's outliers in everything though. So like, see how I could always counter argument. Well, that's for him though. You know what I mean?
But that's the thing.
Because
the exception
you
is
got-
an
you got-
exception,
You
right?
got people out there, man, that are batshit crazy and they think they're perfect.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And they're just, they live the best life ever and they just think they're perfect.
But that gets weird because
See
if
what I'm
they're
saying?
crazy, their actual system for being able to detect what is good and what is not may legitimately, the wiring may be fucked up, as opposed to someone who has normal wiring. Oh, it's a dog.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're chilling. I was like,
It's a dog, looks like a cow.
Yeah.
But I think a difference comes in when it's a person who, let's say, has normal wiring. They don't have something where if a neurologist looked at their brain, they'd be like, oh, no, these circuits are just fucked up, so they feel good doing this thing that the majority of people would feel bad doing.
Right.
And then there's the person who, when I grew up in my environment, my parents were always fucking people over, so I thought that was just what you're supposed to do with life.
Million
So
different
I'm
outcomes, different
nurturing myself into a fucked up person, but I still feel there's a part of me that knows that it's wrong. I think there's a difference between that and the legitimately crazy person, like maybe the Joker in some instances, where like, no, I just love doing this shit that most people think is fucked up, but for me, this is my version of heaven. I think that
Yeah.
exists.
Yeah.
Like that might exist too if I had to bet on it.
There's just, dude, the humans, see, like, again, humans and animals are different. Because animals just simple and humans just, it just goes. You know what I mean? Like, it's just there's so much into the human.
There's
So much in our world, our version of the world, than theirs. It's just,
Oh, see, here's a funny thing. I'll throw this back on the table from what we were talking about
we can
before.
talk about anything.
I've never lived as another animal.
as an animal,
as far
so you
as I
wouldn't
know.
be able to know.
Right?
Right? Yeah, yeah.
So in a weird way,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
almost like I'm taking.
It's like being a wise ass, but not trying to be a wise ass with that statement.
No, like I'm being serious.
But you're being legit because it's like, yo, I never was an animal.
Based
Or
on
maybe
my
I was,
senses.
or
and-
maybe hold up, because
Oh, yeah, that
oh yeah, but maybe I was an animal,
just
but I
don't
didn't
know.
remember, and now I'm a human, right?
Uh-huh. And then it's like, well, how could you ever know?
That's when the human mind's nuts, dude.
Oh my God, the potential for imagination and just that in and of itself.
Like,
probably
are we in a
bunch of other
simulation,
things.
right?
Maybe, maybe. Like, how do you even?
Prove that or know
Mhm.
that.
But even still, I wonder if it would even change much, because if you're in a simulation, but everything still feels as important as it feels and all that, does it really change anything about how you live?
Right.
Like, I don't know. Maybe the Matrix is real. It's one of those.
It's crazy, dude.
Mhm.
It's cool. It's cool. It's fascinating. I just want to live forever. I just pray that somehow these scientists that I
I'll
trust,
keep to the.
these scientists that I trust, I could live forever because I just don't want to die.
So who are the scientists that you trust? This is weird.
Yeah, there is none. So that's what I'm saying. Like the scientists that we supposed to trust.
Wait, but that brings me back to earlier with the ship story I was talking about. Let's say you're on stormy waters in a ship. Let's say the ship is Earth, and there's a lot of scientists saying with the climate thing. I'm not saying I don't know what's going on here. I want to be clear about that. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, from what I've heard, it sounds like a lot of the ship captains who seem to be spending a lot of their life studying this and living out in these waters, I'll call it, like the ship captain, are saying there's a potential iceberg up ahead and that we need to turn our ship, even if it's a few degrees to the left, so we don't hit this iceberg. And that's where I'm like, there's more investigation I need to do before I start to act as if one thing or the other is true. Because I've looked into both sides of the story a little bit, and there's weirdly strong arguments on both sides from what I've seen. It's complicated. It's really fucking complicated from what I've seen. But. At what point do you put your trust? Is there a reasonable point to put one's trust in the experience of another?
I think an airplane story is a little better because it's like life or death, period.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Like the pilot?
Yeah, that's the scary one. Because on the boat, it's like, well, maybe I could jump out and swim. Obviously not. You're going to get sucked, you know? But, yeah, when do you put the
Have you ever swum out into open ocean?
Yeah.
Oh, that feels...
I'm not a bitch. I like that
But
shit.
do you feel it like
no,
you have
you're
those...
just like, no. The scary feeling with that, man, is when you're like, hold the fuck up. You look around, you're like, yo, I'm in a giant pool of water, right?
And it doesn't give a fuck what happens to
Yeah.
me.
And then you're just like, you start thinking, what the hell is
Underneath, yeah.
I can't see. You can only see for so long.
And then you dive under a little bit and you can't feel the bottom, so there's this unknown amount of depth beneath you.
Hell with that. See, that's when your mind starts fucking with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you start thinking, believe it or not, I find it scarier to swim in an open lake than an open ocean.
Weird.
I think that has to do with growing up. You're thinking Loch Ness Monster. You're thinking of Scooby-Doo and stuff like that.
Some shit.
You're just like, what is in these? Because lakes are what? Creepy, dark, silent, no movement water. You're the only thing moving. Right? Obviously, if you go to a massive lake like
a Great Lake or something.
Yeah, a Great Lake, that's different because it's so big, it's got its own waves type thing. But what if you just go into a very big lake?
Dude, especially if you start to go to gator territory.
And it starts getting dark.
Oh.
And you're just like, hold
swimming
up.
in the dark.
You know what I mean? At least the waves, when you're in an ocean, you hear, you're not alone. You feel, you can start like tricking yourself too. But when you're in that lake and it's just like, who's there? Is it Jason out there in the woods? You know, a lake in the woods. And you're
just being in the woods by yourself
it's just like,
late.
Bro, yes, it's like, like I remember swimming across a massive lake. And I remember I went with my friends, but I was just like, could I only imagine the sun's just starting to go down and me being by myself and start thinking shit, what the hell is down there? Because you don't know what's
And
down
yet
there.
I wonder if that's a reasonable part of yourself that starts to produce these fantasies of fear. I wonder if that's one of the things that have kept your ancestors alive. Like, oh, this dark, murky place. Like,
do you get what I'm saying though? Like that still water versus the ocean always moving and moving. What's scarier? I feel like that's still water, because I feel like if the ocean you see moving, right? And you see fish or whatever, but then you're in a lake where it's no movement, and then you just see one little movement somewhere.
Dude, hold on. Let's pause for a second just to acknowledge that there are spider webs somehow forming around us in the middle of this podcast, but I haven't seen them making it.
Yeah, I do see it.
Or maybe they've like flown off the trees or anything. Anywho,
but
sorry.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I don't know if I feel that myself, but I get what you're saying.
If it's just the still water and you just see one sudden movement in the water, you're just like, whoa. yeah. But in an ocean, because of the waves and because of all the noise, and you see a movement, you're just like, fuck, it's probably a shark, but who knows? I don't know. But at least you're distracted by waves and this, and that, and the third. When it's just a dead silent still, and it's just you don't hear nothing but yourself, and you just see one movement in the water, it gets scary.
Dude, something about that stillness. There can be a creepiness, to that stillness, especially combined with loneliness. Like you're by yourself in this vast stillness, combined with I can't see, combined with there may be a part of me that just naturally knows this could be dangerous real quick.
Yeah.
And that's the craziest thing about when things go dangerous, dude. That it goes from 0 to 100. Like in a snap. Everything's been calm for days, hours, months, years, and then I'm in this one place, and within the matter of a second, was that a bear? That's a bear. There wasn't a bear there a second ago, and I felt fine. Now, like life and death in a fucking snap, dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
You just wonder what size fish is down there. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you go to like Round Valley, which is a big lake around here, you're just like, the biggest fish that was caught was, I don't know. 3 feet long, but
that thing nibbles on your fucking foot.
I guarantee you there's other things down there, because that water at once upon a time was over 300 feet deep. So what's really
Dude, I used to date someone who was like, we got to go swimming one time in a lake.
Me and you?
No, with my ex, and she was talking. Yeah, and she's talking about, yeah, dude, we gotta go swim in the lake. There are gators in the lake, but don't worry, cause we just have to bring celery or cabbage. I mean, and when we put cabbage in the water, I forget what sort of animal it is, but there's some animal in the water that will come up to eat it. And like a bunch of them will start to come, and they'll protect you from the gators. They'll like create a little ring around you, and they'll kind of fend off the gators while you go there. And I was
so
like,
you're scared of like gators.
That.
Yeah.
If I'm in gator water, fuck. Have you ever seen a video of a gator chomping and gator rolling?
Well, yeah. Oh man, when they
Whoo! And they just take off a zebra's leg and like
your arm will be gone, your leg will be gone.
It just just starts
and they just
spinning. Oh
yeah, I see videos all the time.
Fuck that, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. Nah, it's something with that stillness.
You want
with
the
me.
hat? Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Thank you.
I'll put it backwards this time. Couple little bugs on it, nothing much, but shit, you locked it. Oh, you opened it up. Yeah, no, it's something with still water that scares the hell out of me.
Quietness. And just being in the woods. Dude, I was in the woods once, this little state park, and I'm going jogging out in the woods, and I'm only like a football field's distance away from where I parked. But when I tell you this ancient primal part of me comes alive, and it starts to like shoot off these alarm systems. My head starts fucking twitching like a chipmunk. I'm just looking back and forth at what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
And I see a deer in the not so far away, maybe like 50 feet. I'm only like a fucking football field's distance into here. I'm barely in the woods at all. And this deer has those fucking big old antlers that I've never really seen in person before. Like, you have spears on your head. If you start running at me, what am I gonna punch you? Throw a rock
Zigzag
at you?
run? I don't
Like,
know.
fuck that. And I started to realize, like, oh, this is what it means to be out in the wilderness and by yourself.
Yeah.
So needless to say, I left and got bear mace. So
Yeah.
now when I go out, because, dude, fuck
I have
that.
I have crazy stuff like that,
Mhm.
like big bottles of bear mace.
Yeah,
and stuff.
dude, because you start to realize how
I mean, I'm a
vulnerable you are.
landscaper, bro. Sometimes I got jobs where I have to be in the woods.
Mhm. And this
I'm
is
alone.
this
or
can get
I'm
out
with one
to
other
country
guy.
real
Yeah,
quick.
this
Mhm.
this gets crazy, but it's not that bad in Jersey. It's more if you live in like Colorado, where you got mountain lions too. Like you got a lot more things. You know what I mean? Like
Snakes and shit. Yeah.
believe it or not, last night I was putting out the garbage because I forgot. I was doing it at like 5 a.m, 4:30 something probably. But I heard coyotes. Ooh, and it's just like damn shit. I'm not afraid of a damn coyote. I'm probably not even afraid of a black bear either. But just imagine some of the states where there's just like a lot of bigger things, like Alaska, or just go to
grizzly.
Canada for fuck's sake. Yeah, grizzly bear, a moose, an elk.
Yeah.
You're in
Dude,
big
like,
shit. Like there's
there's
a lot bigger things to worry about than these little coyotes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you see a
You don't have
coyote, you're
much.
like,
yeah, you're like,
I could have, if I have a rock, I feel like me and that coyote,
Yeah.
like, we can tussle.
and if there's
I got a
5 of them,
chance.
I'll just hopefully could scare them off, waving my arms or something. And
Although, I don't know, can coyotes ever get big, like 100 pounds
it's like
plus?
just put it like it's like a mini wolf, a mini wolf.
Mm.
It's in between a fox and a wolf, I guess.
Oh, dude, but you see something with rabies?
Yeah,
I've heard some crazy stories.
Yeah.
Fuck
I'd rather
that.
get rabies than die, though.
Yeah.
Raccoons are fucking batshit crazy with that, but
Dude, that's
rabies, yeah,
to see a squirrel.
yeah, like a
Oh.
black bear. I've seen 2 maybe around, but I've never really.
Were
gotten
you
scared from them.
outside or like in a car?
No, I was in a car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the one time I was maybe 5 miles away from here.
Dude, that's
and
gotta be
ran,
real
it ran
different.
from a school
Mm-hmm.
across the street, ran into someone's house. All I did was just call 911 because there's kids. and
Yeah.
parents. It was like there was no tag on the damn thing though. I know when I told them there was no tag on it, they kind of made it a bigger thing. So
Mhm.
I guess this bear was like a new bear that nobody's seen because usually I think they tag them.
Maybe
just
they can
to keep a
track them with
track.
though.
No,
Interesting.
I'm not sure, but there was no tag on him. I don't know if they ever got him. His house was big too.
Mhm.
He wasn't a little black bear.
Dude,
Like
that sounds like that was scary.
they take out 5 people, no problem. It
Mhm.
was big. It was
Mhm.
maybe, I'd say honestly, a 700-pound black bear.
Oh, fuck that.
Wasn't little, and it looked tall too because it stood up by a tree.
Mhm.
And that's when I was like, shit, he's 7 feet tall. You know what I mean? 8 feet tall, maybe like 7 feet tall.
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, for a black bear, he's a big one.
And a car's got to feel so different because you have that armor around you and you can move so
You're
fast.
in a car. Even an elephant, I wouldn't be scared.
Well, I don't know about all that, but
yeah. I mean, you just
Oh,
take off your chill.
dude, have you ever felt like genuinely threatened, like deep fear? Have you ever felt like prey before?
No.
It's a weird feeling. it's not.
You felt like prey before?
Yeah.
You've been in a situation with what?
I didn't tell you
Another
this.
person? Because there's people.
Yeah, another person, dude. Did I tell you I was with Ethan?
Ooh, another person.
Oh.
Where the fuck are you at?
I'm in Cali, right?
You smell like shit.
I think it's getting wafts from the wafts
got, like-
from the chickens or something.
No, I think it's fucking. It's either that or I think it
literal
smells
shit?
like dog shit though. I think a dog. I don't
Maybe
know.
it was a dog that was just walking by.
Yeah.
But anyway, dude.
a human.
So I'm in Cali with Ethan, and we're walking around
Who's
Disney.
Ethan, a friend of yours?
My nephew.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
White
and-
kid.
Yeah, sure. Puerto Rican and Israeli, so that I guess he has light skin.
Okay. I know. Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anthony's son.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a Puerto Rican.
So
Well,
we're
what's white?
oh fuck, because there's
It's just
some
the
light
damn
skin.
color,
You're Puerto
bro.
Rican,
It's
yeah.
just the color, bro.
That shit gets nonsensical.
Yeah,
but
yeah. I'm only fucking around.
all
But
right, so putting that
tell
aside
me
for-
this story, because now I'm a little concerned.
Yo, yeah, it was concerning. I've told this before on the podcast, but I'll tell you again because it's fucking. So we're there. It's nighttime. He's in a nice neighborhood. It's pretty similar to this. We're walking around, and we just sit on a curb and we're chilling. We're talking. He has his weed card. He's 19 now, so we were smoking and chilling. And so we're pretty high, and we're just shooting the shit, right? And this guy bicycles by. He sees us. He stops. Like, hey, what time is it? And like you could feel something a little off about him, kind of right from the get go. But like,
But you're off too.
oh,
You're high, you know? No, but I'm fucking with you.
No,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
but okay. So anyway, and we're like, I don't know. It's whatever, 12, like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And he's like, is it past curfew? Like, curfew? We're adults. I didn't even know there was a curfew. How old are you guys? Like, what? And my nephew gets a little bit of an attitude. And so he's like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, fuck off. And the guy didn't like that. So he kind of gets off his bicycle, throws it down, and starts like walking over. He's like, what the fuck did you say? And like, is it past curfew? How old are you, motherfuckers? And right now, like, I stand up, we stand up. I'm like, what? This is weird. And then I look at him, and he's holding a motherfucking. You ever see those metal wire bike locks?
Yeah.
Yeah, like people.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so he's holding one of those, and apparently he has a spike attached to the end of it, and his other hand's in his jacket pocket, right? And he's like maybe your height, like this really lanky guy, and you can see he's like in his face, he's not sane. Like there's just you can detect he's repeating things nonsensically, and he's just walking in a really aggressive, like just right towards us, and we're like, yeah, like we're just chilling, man, and I can immediately feel fear like just shoot up to the nth degree. Like I'm trying to hold
You're
back shit.
scared?
I'm scared as a motherfucker.
Really?
Yeah,
See, I would have
dude.
been like, fuck it. Let's go. It's 2-on-1. Let's go. I don't know. So you were scared.
Yeah, dude. I began to feel like, oh,
A grown man?
Yeah, grown
Like a
man.
Grown-ass man.
Yeah, grown-ass man.
Not no young.
You could tell he's okay. So here's the combination of things.
Because
It's a
you're not
conversation.
a grown-ass man. I'm not a grown-ass man. A grown-ass man is like 35,
He's-
40.
yeah,
He's a
he's-
man.
He's a man, and he has that sort of homeless muscle to him. You know, where like I'm constantly moving and doing stuff. That sort of lanky, like but thick muscle.
Oh,
And dude, you can
shit.
just tell by the way he's talking, repeating the same questions over and over as we're answering them, and like the twitchiness to him. Like you're either high on like meth or some shit, or you're just really you're not sane. I can't reason with you.
Was
which
he
is-
hungry?
I don't fuck. Oh,
Maybe he want a piece of you.
that's
No,
no.
so go ahead. So then,
So it's continuing, and he's asking, like, nah, motherfucker, like, are you guys staying out here past curfew? How old are you guys? I got shot earlier today, and I thought you guys might have been the motherfuckers who shot me. And he's saying all this shit, and for his other hand's in his pocket, like, I don't know, do you have a fucking knife in it?
or a gun?
Yeah, yeah. And he's walking towards us, and I always used to say, when I go to MMA school, I used to have this thought in the back of my head, like, if I have to get into a fight, and it's a real fight, like, to the life and death type shit, like, I'll bite you, right? Because they're, like, bite your fucking nose off, like, gouge your eyes, like, the nth degree.
Do what you got to do.
Do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
And as he's coming closer, I think the thought passes through my head, like, oh, this is what it means to bite someone. Because you being a guy who probably lives on the street, well, we actually found out later he does. He was a homeless guy in the area. They're not the cleanest of people, generally speaking. So, do I want to get AIDS right now or something along those lines? And my mind is, I'm way too high, which is stupid. And I'm just thinking irrationally. Mine's scattered all over the place. And I'm just frozen, dude. Like, I hate to admit it, but it was so real because I always used to think I'd be the badass in that situation. Like, fucking, yeah, what's up? Like, step up. that type of shit. But no, I just felt like my voice was getting like it was hard. I couldn't talk like no.
Oh, chicken.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
probably
dude.
read that too. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, he could. I was defeated before anything happened. Like he attacked me psychologically, like right from the gate, and I could tell my nephew we're both shaking. And he kind of walks up to us, and I let him get way too close. He's standing closer than I am.
Oh,
like,
you're
to
crazy
you.
with a weapon and all that.
Yeah.
You're hilarious.
And I don't know, he's asking all these sorts of questions. I'm like, hey, man, what do you want? Like, I'm just chilling here with my nephew. Like, I don't want any trouble. I'm kind of like standing between him and Ethan. Like, hey, man, like, I don't fucking want anything. We're not here. I'm just trying to be as peaceful as possible. Like, we're not the guys who shot you. Like, we don't want. He fucking walks by. My phone's on the ground because we were sitting. I had it on the ground. He picks it up, looks at it for a second, standing like a foot or two away from me, looks at the phone, looks at me, looks at the phone, puts the phone down, and then just kind of like fucking like starts slowly backing up and walks away. And I can feel Ethan. Ethan at the time, he got jumped like a month earlier over in, I think, San Francisco, where he went to college. So if I had to guess, he's a bit more on edge. Like, if I had to guess, he had the feeling like I don't want to be fucking punked out again. Like I hated that feeling. Like I want to be like, nah, fuck you, like do something. But it was weirdly mixed with this deep fear. Like we could literally at the corner of my eye, I could see like his hand shaking. And I'm pretty sure my hand was shaking too. And so he fucking kind of walks away, and I'm just kind of like, Ethan, don't fucking say anything. Like don't say anything, because you ever know, the sense like I want to throw that last bit like yeah, and fuck you, like right before we walk away type shit. I had this fear in my head, like he was gonna say something like, dude, just go. And so we go and we get Anthony, and Anthony's happens to be hanging outside pretty nearby with a bunch of his friends. So essentially they form like, what the fuck just that? What are you talking about? And they form a little mob and they go chase the guy out of the neighborhood. Essentially, I will spare the details of that. I'll tell you after the podcast or whatever. But yeah, and then the police come and it all gets kind of wrapped up, dude. But yeah, when I've started training a lot more afterwards in martial arts and shit, because I'm like, oh, I thought I had like a little bit of training under my belt. Like I thought, yeah, like I'm a badass. But now I see a guy who's like your height with 2 potential weapons on him, and
You folded.
insane. Yeah. Oh, I didn't just fold, dude. I fucking
You were scared as hell.
yeah, and a fear I didn't know existed. Like when I
Wow.
say, did you ever feel like prey? Like, oh, that's what that feels like. I felt like I was defeated before a punch was ever thrown type shit. Like that was some that happened just a couple months ago.
Holy shit. So where's the homeless guy now?
I think he's in jail.
Oh yeah. For
Which
something
actually,
else?
huh?
For something else.
No, I think for that, because the police came afterwards and we ended up filing a report. Which, side note, dude, I wish he went to like a psych ward. I don't want him to go to prison, because I'm looking at him like, I don't think you'll be helped by prison. I don't think you'll be improved at all. The world. I don't think our society will be improved at all by you going to prison. Like, you seem like you need psychiatric help, not need to get to
So did
speak
he get
super
shot?
crudely, huh?
Did he get shot?
I don't know, dude.
He's just off the charts.
Off the charts. Yes, that's a great
Or
way
the
to say it.
rails, people say.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, no biggie.
Yeah. So fuck that.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
I mean, hey, we've all been in different situations. I've been in more female-related situations. I guess you've been in scary situations with men.
Where you've had like what, a woman going ape shit on you?
Yeah, I've been in situations where women have thrown me in jail for absolutely nothing, and then I sit in there and I'm just like, why am I in jail when I should not be in jail? I didn't do nothing wrong. And then I get released because I have no past criminal record, and then I get thrown right back in jail because, they make up another lie and the cops just believe them, and then it takes months and months and money to literally prove that I was innocent the whole time, and then they finally took the girl away.
Oh, that gets.
That's what sucks. Yeah, you want to talk about that? I feel like the justice system is not designed for men to really have a say. When it comes to man and female, it's always what the woman says over the man's voice.
All right, so I'll play with that. I'll be a devil's advocate for a second, right? With that, because
Yeah, because it's always the man's bigger and stronger.
well,
but
like okay, because there's that intuitive part that says essentially that, like in a fist fight, generally speaking, most men would be able to kill most women, I would bet, in a fist fight, right? So if a woman calls and like, hey, this guy's threatening my life, and I don't put him in prison like right away, her life could literally be in danger. Although that gets weird because guns are a thing, knives are a thing,
Pans
cars
are
are
a
a thing,
thing. Brooms are a
yeah.
thing.
You're
Yeah.
getting killed by a broom, bro. That's another problem.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, yeah, that could be a legitimate weapon. I'm kidding. Fucking break it now. I just have 2 spears. And yeah, so there's this weird instinctual part that's like, oh yeah, that makes more sense for the man to just be like, I wonder if you were to call on a girl and like, yo, this girl's threatening my life.
Yeah.
Type shit. Like she has a gun and
They'll
she's
laugh at you.
threatening. I don't know. There's a part of me that wonders if they would, and there's a part because I don't know. I don't know if they would actually go lock her up just the same. Like, oh no, she has a gun and she's at my house. Like she's been threatening me. Like for the love of God,
Yeah.
put her in prison. I need protection.
Right.
Type shit. Because that gets weird.
Well, my example, for instance, I was in a relationship, right, with the wrong person. Clearly, every relationship I'm in is the wrong damn person. And at least I have the explanation and the memory to tell people these stories because protect yourself. But I was with somebody that obviously wasn't well, and I was like, all right, well, I'm dipping off this girl. Fuck this bitch, right? Typical guy thing, right? And your friends are like, finally, bro, like I told you. And obviously when you're head over heels for a girl or when you're blinded by a girl, you believe the girl, you just forget about everybody else, you know? You're just caught up with your feelings, right? And then you're just like, fuck this, like I gotta go or I'm gonna get fucked. Well, what happens? My situation.
You're never leaving me!
Yeah, no, I go to leave, but the girl knew that I was gonna leave. So I had to play my cards right. I'm like, shit. Well, I'm going to leave, fuck this bitch, but how do I get her physically away from me right at this second? Because if I just straight up tell her, I'm out of here, who knows what's going to happen? Shit's going to hit the fan or whatever. So I tricked her. I had to trick her because, and you'll understand why when I explain why I ended up in jail, right? So I'm like, shit. Well, I'm trying to get this lady away, and I told her, like, hell with this, and she's over here flipping shit, like, broke my computer in 2.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to fucking kill this girl, right? So I'm like, okay, wait, hold up. Let me keep my cool because guess who goes in jail? Me. Nobody's going to believe me. They're going to believe her because she's the girl. That's just how kind of society portrayed it as, right? So I'm thinking like, yo, okay, hey, do you want to go out to eat? Let's go with your friends. Let's go out to eat. I'll pay for everybody.
You say that while she just broke your
Yeah. I just flipped the script. Just tell her what she wants to hear, right? But I was doing it for my own safety because I was in danger. I'm an honest little person,
but
right?
okay.
Well, listen, let's just go out to eat. I try to de-escalate everything. She's down. Now my friends are texting me like, bro, what the fuck? What's going on? So I'm like, okay. We go to her friend's house. She runs in to see what her friends are wearing or whatever, say hi or whatever. So I'm like, this is my way. What do you think I did? Pew! Skirted with the car, bro. Gone. See you later. I parked my car at a Quick Check. I leave my car. My friends pick me up. They're like, we're going out to dinner. Finally, you broke free from this crazy lady. I'm like, yes, I did it. Obviously, it hurts. It sucks because obviously you like the person, but you have to leave because, you have to leave this person because, like, if not, you're going to end up either she's going to take all your money, dead. It could be a million different things. Hell with that. This girl's a liar. She's lied to me several times. She's played me, all that, right? So I skirt off. Well, I'm at the dinner with my friends, and we're chilling, we're eating, and my friends are like, yo, finally, bro. Now you go get yourself, now you go stay single, we gonna fuck around, we gonna do whatever, like whatever, typical guy shit. And I get back to my car. When I get back to my car, obviously, I drive a really nice car, so when I get back to my car, I'm like, shit. Now I guess my night's over, I'm gonna go home. So I hop on the phone with a good girl friend of mine. I'm talking on the phone. I'm like, yeah, I left her, bro, because, like, they were just like, yeah, it was smart, bro. Like, you deserve better. It's you, Chris. Like, I know you're very white and black, and that's what you want, and these girls be lying to you and telling you what you want to hear, and you don't listen. Well, you don't listen to us when we tell you, but you listen to her, right? So I'm like, yeah, and I see lights. What the fuck? I'm sitting in my car, and I see lights. It's cop lights. Tons of cop lights. I'm like, whoa. Cop lights here, cop lights there, cop lights behind me. I'm stuck in a parking lot at a Quick Check, and you got an audience of people standing outside now, too. I'm like, whoa.
I gotta
go.
And
I'm like, yo, I told her just like that. I gotta hop off this phone, bro. Boom. Just tell people, like, cops came to me. banged on her. Fuck that, right? I'm like, fuck, I'm in trouble. So I could tell just by the vibe. I'm like, this isn't a pullover, right? So get out the car. Get out the car. Hit the little record button on my phone, obviously, and I'm talking. Are you good?
Yeah, you're good.
So I'm talking. I'm like, hey, how are you? He's like, I don't know if he said put your hands up or whatever he said, but he was like, what happened between you and such and such? The girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what you mean? I cut her ass off. Hell with that girl. She's crazy. It's like, huh. You know, they look at me like, huh. Well, you know, I see that you know, things happened with you guys at the house. What do you mean? You know, well, you're going to be placed under arrest for domestic violence. I'm like, instantly in my head, shut the fuck up. Don't say a word. Everything could be used against you. Just shut the hell up. That's what a lawyer's for. Shut the hell up. So I just start, I'm pissed. I wanted to fight the cop because I'm like, how you going to just believe her word over mine? Like, I just said, like, wait, what the hell are you talking about? I was like, so he's like, so what happened between you guys? I'm like, I didn't do shit. I dipped. Like I just said, I was out of here. Well, you're under arrest. And the cops are being mean as hell to me. Both of them, those two of them. The other one's like trying to talk to me to get me to talk. And I'm like, I'm not talking to you. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. Like the fact that I'm under arrest and I'm under arrest, right? I'm under arrest and you still want me to talk. So talk for what? Are you going to unarrest me? No. So why talk? Hell with you. I'm under arrest anyways. You know what I'm saying? That I was mad. Put me under arrest. I'm like, yo, this is bullshit. I'm like, yo, this is bullshit. What the hell are you doing? Throw me in the back of a cop car. They take my phone. My car's just sitting there now. I don't know if it's locked or not locked. They don't give a fuck. I get treated like dog shit just for assumption.
Well, it sounds like you're
right.
also being disrespectful and like pissing them off.
100%. Because you got to understand where I'm coming from. You just said I'm under arrest, and I'm over here like, wait, what? And then you're telling me to talk, but talk for what if I'm under arrest? There's no need to talk. You're already doing your job, so whatever. So I'm sitting in the station now, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck's going on? You know, I'm like, he's asking me, what do you do for a living? And then he's making remarks about what I do for a living, like, oh, yeah. And he's like, yeah, well, you know, and then he'll keep mentioning, like, oh, why'd you put your hands on a woman? It's like, motherfucker, get me off these cuffs. I'm going to put my hands on you. That's how mad I was. So what you mean, put my hands on a woman? But I didn't want to flip shit. It's all in my head. I'm just like, I just want to fucking go ape shit on these people because what you mean, put your hands on a woman? And I remember saying, she used to try to put her hands on me all the time. What the fuck? I ain't put my hands on this woman. Hell no. I don't want to touch her. She's gross. Like, I'm so mad. And these cops are just like, they just take me as a joke. They don't, you could tell they canceled out. I was going to jail, period. There was no, he's like, okay. He's like, we're done here with the processing. I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. So I'm expecting them to take off the cuffs now. But I just want you to know that you're not going home. You're going to jail. I'm like, what you mean I'm going to jail? Like legit jail? You're going to county. I'm going to county? Like legit, like a criminal? Like I did something? Yeah, you're going to county. They throw me in county. Now I'm sitting in there in a tank with a whole bunch of dudes, right? And you got these dudes like, yo, what's up with you, kid? You know, I'm in a tank still waiting for me to get, you know, because now they have to process me to jail. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm over here like, bro, some girl said I'd be beating her ass and I ain't beat her ass. Like, I was talking like hood because like they were like hoodish type people. And they're like, yo, man, fuck these hoes. Like, you know what I mean? They start coming crazy. They're like, what you mean? They ain't listen to you? I'm like, bro, there was no talking. They just threw me in jail. They're like, yo, fuck that. Fuck the police. That typical shit. I'm like, yeah. And then they finally booked me. The lady, they're booking me. Now they're sticking needles in me and I didn't even want to do that. I'm all anti-needle. What the fuck? Like, I'm getting abused in there, bro. Like, because I shouldn't be here to begin with, and now you're forcing me to do things. Like, I have to get the needle in my arm, my forearm, and I don't even know what the hell it is. You explained it, but I don't know what the hell you're putting in me.
What did do you remember what they?
No, it happened right here. They just put a needle right here. And then I remember getting a red ring around my arm. I still have a picture.
Hmm?
A red ring around my arm. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, okay, are we done? Like, can I go home? No, you're not going home. You're going in there. I'm like, bro. So now it's like 3 in the morning. And they're like, they give me like, I had to change all that stuff. And I remember the corrections officers are assholes. Everybody's looking at me like a fucking dirty pig, except the inmates. Well, not the inmate. They were in the tank too, so they were getting processed too.
Mhm.
They were the only cool ones. So they became friends real quick because these people don't even want to talk. The correction, I asked her, like, wait, what's going on? Like, what the fuck? Because I'm confused. I'm young. Everybody else in there's grown. Even the people in the tank were grown. So, and you know what I mean? I'm still young to this day, but these people are grown, like grown. And I'm like, I don't deserve this. It's not fair. I treated this, and I'm just running in my brain, in my head, like, I gave this girl everything. Well, a lot of people like to say now that's the problem. You give these bitches too much. You give them way too much power, bro. You take them out to eat. You pay all the time. You do this, you do that. And these girls, what do they give you? Sex? Fuck
Dude,
that.
There's something I gotta fucking.
You know,
there's something I gotta say.
It sucks.
I don't know if this was the same girl, but I don't want to be a fucking asshole for this, but I feel like to be a fucking your homie, I gotta say this shit. I've seen you lie to some of your girls before.
Of course, I have to protect my ass. Hey, where are all these girls now? Gone.
No, I don't even mean lie like when she's breaking my shit and she might stab me with the fucking nut. Like, I've seen you lie to chicks just when you're in the. I don't know if that's still how you are, but this was a little while ago. It might have been the same girl, but just in general, like you were having a conversation with her on the car. And you're like, oh, is anybody else in the car? Like, I just want to have this one-on-one with you. And you're like, nah, no one else is in the car. But
no
there's
one's in
fucking
the
like,
no one you need to worry about. But I got a car full of young niggas, right?
so like,
nobody that needs to be hearing is hearing it.
So all I'm saying is like, dude,
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But you know these.
I'm not saying that justifies someone fucking lying and lying.
But but. I get at the end of the day, I guess you could say a lie's a lie though. But like, you know, if a girl's like, who's in the car, and I'm just like, no one, and it's like I got my boy in the car. Usually, I know what a girl means when they say that. It's usually like, you got nobody that I don't want to hear this.
No, fuck
you know
that.
Because
that's some
it's,
weird
if
shit
it's just
to go
if
down.
it's just a random nigga. It's just a random nigga. Don't
No,
matter.
no,
I don't
fuck
give a
that.
fuck.
That's not what you.
There's nothing personal.
Dude, that's weird. That's
nothing,
like you're interpreting.
Nothing needs to be said. Nothing needs to be said behind the scenes, bro.
No, fuck that. You was talking about black and white. That was a lie.
Well,
wasn't.
I guess you could say that. I guess you could use that on me. But what I'm saying is, grand scheme of things, I'm like, yo, I did everything for this fucking bitch, and for her to throw me in here. Wait until I come out. I was ready to kill this bitch. I'm not even kidding. That's how mad I was. I was like, bro, like, you want to play that game? I'll really do something to you. Like, I was like, what did I do? I didn't do shit. I gave this motherfucking girl everything. I didn't do nothing. This girl never once took me out to eat, never once nothing. All she did was play me out and take my money or whatever, or use me or lie to me or play me, like, straight up. Like, you know, talk to other dudes, whatever. I've never, ever. Bro, still to this day, when I have a girl, I never talk to another girl. I just don't. Fuck these hoes. I only need you. You're the only girl that I need to report to. Everybody else, I don't got to report to. You, my mom, my family. Like, you know,
so
we can't get that anal with it, but
so continue with the jail story.
So I'm like asking and the corrections officers don't want to talk to me. They don't want to look at me. They don't want to hear me because, you know, in society, if you put your hands on a woman, it's like the worst thing in the world. But it's like, but you don't know if I really did or didn't. That's the problem. And if I did or didn't, what difference does it make if I put my hands on a woman or a man? Human's human. At the end of the day, kid or old lady, if you put your hands on somebody, it ain't right. Putting your hands on somebody is not right, whether man or female. I don't give a fuck. There's no more or less.
That gets weird. That's like saying,
you know what I mean?
Like, if I...
Because in today's day, if I want to identify as a woman, I can too, right? If you want to play that card, then I don't want to hear it because she told me she was a man.
I don't even want to talk about
you know what I mean?
that for a second. All I'm talking about is
real
like,
nasty.
If I, for example, like... Oh, this is dark, but I'll be real. Like, if I rape someone, if I rape an adult, and then I rape a child, like, dude, raping child, that's a whole other fucking level. And like, oh, they're both people. Like,
Human's human. What's the difference?
One's a child.
Uh-huh. Well, what about if it's an old person?
Child is like this sacred thing.
Because they're innocent?
I don't know exactly why.
But then that's when it comes back to the abortion shit. Why the hell? That's a child forming. how could you take them? How could
All
you
I'm
make-
saying
See what I'm
is,
saying?
even though I don't have a great explanation for it, there's definitely an important difference that feels
because they
like
can't,
it's
I guess,
there.
defend themselves
I don't know,
as much or whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, a life is a life.
but whatever.
You know what I mean?
That's a whole other fucking
You know what I
separate.
mean? You shoot up a nursing home or you shoot up a fucking elementary school. What's the difference? You took X amount of lives.
But a life isn't just a life. Like
yeah, because they didn't live their life to the fullest. But nobody ever.
I
really
don't know
does.
the explanation for why.
Yeah.
All I know is like a lot of people don't treat it that way.
Yeah, they
for
don't.
whatever.
Society made it like that.
I don't know if that's true, but whatever. Continuing with
but
your
but
your
but
jail
I'm
story.
getting booked, and now they're like, here's your bed, which is a stupid piece of shit mat. Here's your cup. Here's your toothbrush, and here's a piece of paper as to like your
Did they
rights
give you
in here.
floss?
No, he didn't get shit. And I'm just like, okay, well, what if I'm hungry, right? What if this? What if that? No.
Mm-hmm.
What if I'm thirsty? Well,
Mm-hmm.
they take me up. Go into this cell. I'm over here like, wait, can I call somebody? Can I tell somebody I'm in here? What? My freedom gone.
Mm-hmm.
No one cares. No one wants to hear you. So I'm in a cell, and it's this old school black guy in there, and he was all jacked and strong, and he was a truck driver guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably a little shorter than me, but just a big dude,
Mm-hmm.
and you could tell he wouldn't take shit from nobody, and I felt happy to be in there with him actually, because you take this guy, which is like a grown ass man in here, and then you take this young dude. Maybe he could. I'm just thinking maybe he could lecture me some things. I don't know how long I'm going to be in here. Well, I'm in there, and I remember seeing like it's just bright light, and it's 3 a.m. It's just a bright light, and you're in your cell, and it's light, dude. It's hell in there. It's hell.
Even while you're sleeping, they got bright light.
Bright light.
Mm.
Don't let them fool you. It's bright light all times.
Mhm.
Just your jail cell might not have a light, but
Hallways got
the
bright at.
the brightest, brighter than this damn hat, bro. Not even kidding.
Mhm.
No clock, no TV, bro. You go cuckoo. I remember just standing on the fucking bar cell, like just standing there, just waiting. Like, can somebody talk to me? Because everybody's sleep, and it's like.
Oh, and you don't really sleep, so you're just
So I'm
awake.
just standing there, just like bypassing time. So 1 hour feels like 10 hours, and yeah, it's hell. And then I remember eventually, I guess I fell asleep sitting there or whatever the hell. And I remember the guy saying, hey, yo, kid, I brought you lunch or breakfast.
Mhm.
And I was like, what the hell? And I was like, I don't want this shit. I think I drank the orange juice or the little can of fucking apple juice. It was like the shitty version of school lunch, bro. And I remember it was like oatmeal and just like nasty stuff. I was like, bro, eat this. And then he was like, yo, I got some snacks that I saved up. Yo, take this.
Mhm.
I think it was like stupid, like a granola bar, and I just ate that shit because I was like, bro, I don't know when I'm gonna actually eat something. The guy was cool. The guy was like, listen, I own a company too, bro, and these motherfuckers threw me in here because he had a warrant in the state and he went somewhere else, and it was like petty stuff. It wasn't like he wasn't in there for murder or like anything big. But he was so cool. He was really nice.
Is that a thing in jail where like you don't ask people what you're in there for? Or
Yeah,
did
nobody ever does. But
did he just tell you like?
Yeah. It's just you just if they want to tell you. Don't ask.
Gotcha.
Keep a tough face on. Don't act. Don't look like a bitch. Don't bow down. Don't nothing. I just stood my ground. I knew like if somebody hit me, fuck it. I don't care. Like, I'm gonna hit you too because I'm not gonna be a bitch in here. I don't know what's going on. I know nothing in here, bro. I got thrown in a cage with just random dogs. You could say that's how it felt. Just random me's in there. So I'm like, okay. I didn't take a shit. I didn't nothing. I didn't pee, nothing, bro. I didn't do nothing. Just sat there, just as time, just praying that somebody does something. Then I remember they're like saying, I was like, how long have you been in here? He's like, I've been in here for 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, hell no. I can't even be in here for 5 hours. Never mind 2 weeks. It's now 10 a.m. or 8 a.m. and I felt like I've been in here for 2 weeks already,
Mhm.
So I'm like, wow, I'm never talking to girls again, bro. Like I hate girls now, That's how I was looking at it in there. So I was like, I don't get what the hell I still did. So I remember, I hear like an announcement, sell this, sell that, you come out. So it was like a bunch of people. And I remember that the guys in the tanks, they came out too. I didn't realize that if you have no previous criminal history, you get to talk to the judge first and fastest. There's no bail in Jersey either. So boom, they put me on with the judge in a screen or whatever, and they're just like, oh yeah, these kids were in trouble for having, like, I don't know, freaking too much weed in the car or something like that. And then they said me, and it was like domestic violence for beating a girl. They were like, oh yeah, are you gonna be a threat? Are you gonna go near? No. And then I got thrown back in the jail cell, and I'm like, shit. And then next thing you know, I was set to be released. This is 16 hours. No, yeah, about 16 hours later. And it felt like months later, bro. Months later. That's what it felt like. I don't know if it was 16 hours or 12 hours. Bro, it felt like a long time in there. And I remember, like, taking off the clothes. Like, I'm out. Now I got to figure out what the hell's going on. Guess what happened? I got out. They throw you out. They don't, nothing. My phone was dead, nothing. I ended up having to walk miles to my car because my phone was dead. I had nothing. They just throw you right out of the jail cell and they just expect you to just fly. Like, they don't even let you use their phone or nothing. Like, I can't even call it. No, they don't give a fuck. Gone. They just kick you out the door. Like, they treat you like shit, which I find wrong too because it's just not right. But I get thrown out. I walk to my car. I turn my car on. It worked. My keys worked because I got my keys back. I plug my phone in. I'm praying it. It turns on. I start calling everyone. My phone was blown the fuck up too. Everybody's like, whoa, where the hell were you? I start fucking tweaking. I start calling lawyer. I was bugging the hell out. I was like, bro, fuck. The next day, I'm driving through my old town. I get pulled over. Why the hell I get pulled over? I didn't do shit. I swear I didn't do shit. I don't talk to this girl, nothing. I'm just over here like, whoo, I'm finally out of jail. Cop's like, listen, you need to step out the car. I'm like, bro, am I going crazy? You're under arrest. Same thing. Thrown in jail all over again. Same thing. I'm like, wait, what the? I'm like, whoa. No. This time I didn't even talk. This time I was like,
does your car just get left on the side of the road?
On the side of the road. Just like that. They don't give a fuck. How nice. They don't care about nothing. I'm like, went to jail. Again, I'm like, shit, this time now I have a record. I'm thinking I have a record, but I don't have a record because you don't have a record until you see the judge out of jail or in jail, depending how bad the crime is. And then they actually say guilty. Then, you know what I mean?
When you're convicted, yeah.
So, yeah, convicted. So I'm over here like, shit, fuck. I'm scared. I don't know what the hell's running through my head. And this time they allowed me to make a phone call, and I got out same day. It was like the same thing all over again. I got out. Did you know that when I got out of jail the first time, I was out on release? Now, this is the strike 2 now. They're letting me released again because I have no, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm going home. Like, I'm just going to stay home. I didn't want to tell my mom.
I need a blanket.
I didn't want to tell nobody. Did you know that they were telling this girl every time I got out of jail, hey, I just want you to let you know that he's back free again?
Yeah.
I don't fuck with that. I understand it's for her safety, but with this girl, they ended up finding out was this girl was just calling every time that I got out. He hit me again, right back in. He spoke to me again, right back in. That's it. There's no ifs, ands, no just nothing. She went to do this a third time, and I set her up. That's how I got her ass. So the third time, I was actually going against myself, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to see this girl, and I'm going to fuck her back. Guess what? She tried pulling the card, like, calls in a scene.
Wait, say that again.
So remember this, as soon as I got out of jail, I was like, I'm never seeing this girl. I didn't. But I got thrown in jail again because she just lied and said that, and they just don't care. They just believed her.
So how did you set her up?
So the third time, I was like, you know what? This time I'm going to try to see this girl, make it happen, bullshit her.
Who did you tell that you're going to try and see her?
My friends.
Okay.
So I had a good friend of mine that was like friends with her kind of ish. So she trusts him. But he knew that I was in big shit because now I have 2 cases, and she's about to hit me with a third one. Imagine going to drain it. Bro, this girl was fucking me over. She just didn't want me outside. Okay. So we, like, set her up. I was at a public place. I tried getting her to come. I tricked the whole system. I beat the cops in their own game too. And what I did was I kind of set her up. My friend, I think, got her there, and I wasn't there, but my car was there. So the cops were like, oh, he took off trying to beat her. But my friend was recording her the whole time and like setting her up. Her parent, we called the cops on her this time. We're like, this girl's lying, look. And we like framed her ass, and it worked. So the cops were like, whoa. Because she's about to call the cops again, but this time somebody else called the cops. And now the cops are like, wait a minute, let's question her. I got set to go home right then on the scene. Her and her parents and them, I think her parents thought that I was beating her too. Mm. And I thought her parents were beating her because she lied to me saying that her parents were beating her. She was doing this to get the good out of both of us. So what happened was there was a big fight that almost broke out with her parents and me. I was like, fuck you. You caused this girl to put me in jail for no reason. They were like, you hit her. I was like, I never hit her. You hit her. Like, we're arguing with each other. And then we were like, wait a minute. Her stepdad was like, yo, I don't think this kid's lying. Just by the anger inside, I don't think he hits her. So when the cops came, because we like framed it all, the cops came because this is a huge commotion. And the girl's like, no, he hits me. But, and then she's like bullshitting about the parents because her parents are there. Now she's like, she doesn't know where to go. That's when they were like, wait a minute, let's question her. What's
hold on.
So her parents put her in her place. Her parents were like, wait a minute, officer, don't arrest this young kid. I think it's her.
So you're in a public place.
Public place at a ShopRite.
And you were there. You're actually there.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I hid. She knew that my car was there.
And
so it was the car that baited her. So she's like, where is this guy?
So hold on. Your friends told her because she was going to try and go there.
Yes.
And set
and
you
like
up.
Set me up to fuck me, but they fucked her by calling the cops, and they were on their way, but her parents showed up.
Her parents also showed up.
Yes.
How did her parents show up? Whatever. All
but
right.
we were about to, I was like, fuck you. I'm like over here like about to flip shit because I'm like, you guys caused this girl to be like this. And in the end, her mom came to her senses. Thank God. She's a Puerto Rican. Look. Her mom's a Puerto Rican. And I like about Puerto Rican women is they're very, a lot of Puerto Rican women are like very like, stand up for what's right when it comes to that shit. Because now, you know, a lot of white girls white is a color, but a lot of these non-Hispanic girls, right? And not black girls, right?
Whatever.
Not Africans, right? But a white girl, color-wise, you know, a lot of white girls and their parents, they like to like, but my daughter, but this, but that. Like they don't stand for what's right. They're just delusional, and they're just like, well, that's my kid, so at the end of the day, I'm just going to defend them.
Like my little
princess. No matter if they're wrong or right. And it's like, bro, that's fucked. Put your kid in their place when they're doing something bad. So her mom came to her senses after she was flipping out and saw me flipping out. Her stepdad was like, no, stop. This kid is acting crazy because I think he's really trying to cry like he's innocent and no one's listening to him. Like, let's chill out and stop blaming him just because she's the one throwing him in jail. Because,
dude, what did they say when you said, no, you're beating her?
Yeah, you're beating her.
What do you mean?
This was in front of the cops. The cops came just in time. It all worked out. And the girl's over here like not knowing who to side on because I'm like, why are you standing next to your parents if you used to tell me that your parents beat you? And then her parents were like, you tell him that? And then she had nothing to say. Like, you could tell it was her. You could tell. And her mom knows. Every parent should know their kid at least a little bit, and if they don't, then there's something wrong with you. You're not doing your job. But her mom said, wait a minute, officer, don't arrest this fucking kid. And just like that, they didn't arrest me. and the cops were like, hold up, maybe it's this girl. Because my friends started saying, miss, you don't understand. Like, I've known this kid for years. He would never do this shit. What the hell are you doing? Like, and my friend that was involved in this, is very close to her parents. So they were like, hold up. Because she's got siblings too. So they were like, hold up. I don't think he's lying either. Like, there's something more to this. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. Maybe he hit her and didn't want to hit her again, or maybe he hit her, whatever the case is. But her parents were like, wait a minute. What if it's not him? So the cops let me go, and they were arguing among themselves. I ended up, I have a really loud car. I was picking up a friend of mine, and her mom happened to be outside the next day. And her mom's like, stop the car. Come over here. I'm like, stick out the middle finger like, fuck you. Because, like, I still don't know who's on my side.
You're flipping off her
again.
parents, mom?
Yeah. I'm like, fuck you. Because I'm like, fuck you. Like, you piece of shit. You didn't believe me. You know what I mean? Like, fuck you. But because her mom's like, come here. I didn't know if her mom was trying to be, like, friendly or not. You know what I mean? I don't know. I didn't know if her parents were beating her or not. I didn't know nothing. So then I pick up my friend, and then I drive by again, and her mom's like, come here. Yeah, she yells again because I drove by because I was picking up my friend. I drove by again. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stop the car. And if I fuck her up, I don't give a fuck. Like if we get into a fight here. Sí, ahorita. Dame un minuto. Soy esperando que Awilda viene. Soy esperando que Awilda viene. Awilda está aquí. Abuela, estoy esperando que si Awilda viene. Sí, dame un minuto. We'll cut that out. No es película, abuela. Deja nosotros hacer este video. All right, so.
What was she even saying?
She just said, like, eat shit then. I don't know. Like, it's just disrespectful, but I just don't listen. But, so, what I wanted to say is I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I told my friend, I was like, bro, if this is a fight, yo, we just gonna do it. Fuck it. Because I don't know, her mom don't take shit from no one. Her mom don't play. Her mom's not no little girl, nothing. No. Her mom, if she gonna fight, she gonna fight. Her mom is like one of those. So, you know, and then her stepdad came out and all that. They're like, yo, no. Come inside. We're here to talk. I was like, all right. I felt the vibe. I was like, all right, they're not here to fight or not, and they want to talk. So what has this girl been telling you? I was like, she says that I'm telling her, I'm like, she said that this, that. I'm laying it all out. And her parents are like, that makes sense. Because she was coming here saying the same thing about you. I was like, get out of here. She's like, I'm like, so where is she now? And then we were figuring out all the lies, like these deep lies about this girl. Like this girl was not lying little stupid stuff. No, this was deep. Her mom's like, I'm like, so where is she? She's like, we took her to a mental institution to get her checked out and stuff like that. Because, like, I feel bad. Like, damn, like, it must suck being in jail for no reason and stuff. Like, her mom really was thinking, like, I was like, yeah, I never put my hands on your daughter. I swear, like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Now I got all these court cases. She's like, fuck that. She's like, my daughter ain't doing that shit to you. Not for no reason. I don't play that shit. I'm standing up for what's right, and I see that it's her. It's fucking her, and I apologize. And I was like, I apologize for flipping on you, too. It all worked out, bro. In the end, they ended up finding out that she had issues in this, that, and the third. Justice was made. But that's one case. I got off on one case. You got a whole bunch of men out there, innocent, in jail because of this. I know it. Because for them to take her word like that, just like that, with no proof of nothing. Oh, she was beating. They ended up finding out that she was beating herself up. Oh, I don't know what the case was because she had black eyes and all that. It was all like bullshit. It's all fake. It was all hype. And I find that fucked because there's a lot of men out there, man, that get taken advantage of, and then they know that at the end of the day they're fucked. Because he hit me. At the end of the day, they're taking you, bro. You're a guy, bro. You're the one with the balls, bro. It sucks, dude. It sucks. And I was in this situation, and still to this day, I got people out there speaking on my name, saying like, oh, like, yo, in particular, I got a couple dudes out there that I guess they see me as a threat to like girls or whatever. You know, like I don't want him to take this girl from me or something like that. So they tell girls like, oh, like, you know, be careful. Like I heard he hits girls, just to make girls like not fuck with me already. And it sucks because still to this day, my name is shit because of this situation. And it's like, yeah, I even called my lawyer one time. I was like, but do I get a piece of paper? Like, because I saw the judge and all that, and I was innocent. I was found innocent, 100% innocent, nothing. And and my lawyer's like, no, like that's it. It's not like you get a paper or a certificate saying like I didn't do it. You know what I mean? And it hurts. It hurts walking into a party where if you go up to a girl or an old friend or whatever, and they're just like, oh, like, I don't fuck with you like that, or I don't trust you because, like, I heard you hate girls. And it's like, bro, I don't hate girls, bro. Like, that shit was old. Like, yo, you didn't find out. Like, and they're just like, oh, no, but I still hear about it. At the end of the day, my name is ruined because of this. And it's like, I have no voice, no nothing. You know what I mean? Nobody cares. I was like, bro, like, if I actually did that, you would see that I'd be in jail every day. Obviously, if I was found guilty, I'd be serving a sentence. Because for what the hell was happening, keep going in and out of jail like this, I would be in jail, bro. And, like, still to this day, it hurts because it's like, bro, like, I do so much for a lot of girls. And, like, I think now, too, especially, they see, like, my weakness. That, like, I do give a lot. And I do my best to be good. And, like, I want the perfect girl because, obviously, I have trust issues all over the damn place and all these problems. But it makes it so much harder for me to be out in public knowing that people fuck with me than not fuck with me because I think a lot of people hate me now. And I'll never get that good old Chris back, you know. I used to be known as the kid that was like, I fuck with that dude, yo, he's the funniest dude. To now it's like, yo, fuck that guy. And nobody has the balls to say it in my face. I don't know if I'm intimidating or not, but I guess they probably think I'm going to beat them too. But it's like, bro, like, come on, dude. You know the truth now, and now you guys just don't want to accept it.
Innocent till proven guilty. That's an interesting part
That's
of the
way it should be,
system.
but it sucks because they were throwing me in jail, and it sucks because, like I said, I know I'm a chick magnet. Like I said, I'm not trying to flex or brag, but a ton of girls throw themselves at me, and you know, especially being in a situation like this has happened. Like, girls have lied to the police to me several times because I think now girls know. Like, okay, deep down, I remember running into the cop that arrested me at a gas station. And I remember saying, like, see, I was innocent. And, like, you could tell he didn't fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I'm innocent in the eyes of the law right there. I'm innocent. But every time I drive through the town now, I get pulled over. Every time, you know what I mean? Every time I see a cop or every time I meet new people, they already see me as a guy that beat a girl. And, like, not just slap her, like, beat her. And it's like, bro, like, for real? And it hurts my feelings because knowing that my mom was in a situation, for me to come home knowing that my mom, after going to jail, after my mom found out, like, that I was supposedly hitting girls, knowing that my mom used to get beat when she was pregnant with me and stuff, obviously, I would never hit a girl. Don't you think my mom would reason better than that? So coming home, my mom asking me, oh, do you hit girls? And me look at my mom like, fuck you too. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't think people will ever understand because nobody's really been in situations like this. And if they have, they're fucking in jail or whatever. And, like, there's a lot of men out there that are innocent and these girls be getting away. Why isn't she in jail for lying? Like, this is big. Why isn't she in jail for throwing me in jail in the first place?
Maybe because the mental institution.
And it's yeah, but fuck the mental. That's an excuse. Fuck that. Because now my name is like shit. So what are you gonna pay me off? I don't even think money could pay for this. My name is damaged, Alex. We could go right now to, like, a public event. I'm known. Everybody knows Chris, and, like, just people will just look at me so bad, and it sucks that I have to go out of my way to, like, tell you the story and stuff like that, or, like, text my lawyer and be like, you know what I mean? Just to prove to you, and I owe nobody an explanation. But this girl gets to run around still to this day, runs around and continue to say that I did do that. Or whatever she wants to do and have no markings. All the guys love, they all feel bad. Because you know how men are. We're sick. Men are sick. Women are sick. Men are sick. They're all sick. But listen, because we're sick for different things. Now you got all these men out here that are like, fuck him, he's a piece of shit, right? And I know deep down that girl knows that she fucked me, or I know deep down that girl's probably like, damn, probably still hung up over me because these girls never get over me. But I know you got these men out here like this now. Now this girl, this poor fucking idiot, right, is now you got guys out here. What do you think these guys do when they want some pussy? yo, it's a shame. Look, it's a shame. No, it's a shame. It's a shame that you were in a relationship with this guy. Like, how could he put his hands on you? You know, da da da. You know, sweet talker ass, just to bag her ass. But now me, I just look like shit. All these guys now, she got the fame, like she got the spotlight. Oh, we feel bad. Pat her on the back. And in the end, look at me. Nobody came up to me like, hey, yo, I feel for you, bro. No one. Still to this day, I've yet to see someone come up to me and say, I heard all these things and I knew it wasn't true.
Well, what about your friends?
I cut 99% of them off. Because, you know, as time goes on, you really realize who's your friend and not. I hang with maybe 5 people, bro. But it hurts, bro. Still to this day, when I used to cry and be like, bro, like, y'all need to believe me. And still to this day, people don't believe me. And it sucks. Now I'm having a kid, right? And what? Is my kid one day going to ask me, Dad, did you used to hit girl? What the fuck? It sucks. I want to move far away, man. Start a whole new life, whole new everything, bro, because, like, my name got fucked with that one. And you want to know the scariest thing, the worst thing about it? I had a best friend through that whole situation, and it was a girl. I never believed in fucking around with a girl best friend. A girl best friend's your best friend, and that's your friend. And this is where I made my mistake. Obviously, that girl best friend wanted to take her spot and be that girl that she never was. Guess what happened? Because she knows of what happened the first time with that other girl, I thought this girl was legit like, bro, that was my best friend, my ride or die. You know what this girl did to me? She ended up calling the police on me, too. You know how they call her lying? She said that I was stalking her house with my car, but I totaled my car 2 weeks before that. Ask my mom. My mom knows. If you ask my mom, and my mom don't cover for my ass at all, that's sick. So now, every time I fuck with a girl, they know what's happened. Like, if I want to fuck around with a girl for real, I got to go out of the country or something. Or like out of the tri-state area or something. Because now I noticed every time I fuck with a girl, they all do the same things because they know they could get away with it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? They all run to, like, call the cops or set me up or try to get me in trouble because it's like, they're not going to believe them anyways. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, they know what they can and can't do. These girls are fucked up to me. I get treated like shit.
Chris.
This is why I have a problem with a lot of girls now. And I tell you what, this is a very long podcast.
The camera's about to cut out.
Yeah.
I could replace it. I could put in the new memory card.
I love this. This
You know what?
gets
Fuck
crazy.
it. Hold on. I'm going to go replace the memory card. The light's going to be gone too, so we'll have to end.
This gets great. You can't lie, Alex. I'm a unique character. That's all I got to say. You could cut it now and then finish it when you put the new battery in. Boy, oh boy, let me stretch.
So let's go.
All right, you
Part
already
2.
know. It's the vibe. It's Chris Q. We're back again. It's just now it's dark. We ate dinner and all that because we can talk for days out here. You know what I mean?
Days and days.
And here we are with some blue lighting. So hopefully the video comes out good. But I know this is his thing, so he should be doing the intro. But, you know, I have to say my piece.
His Chris Q intro coming at you fast.
So
That's how the fuck we roll.
where we left off, kind of basically, I was saying like how like these girls really fucked me over, and yeah, the grand scheme of things is like this girl really should have been held accountable as to for what she's done, and the sickest part about it is the next girl that I started fucking around with ended up calling the cops on me too, and obviously, that one didn't go very far because she completely lied and said that I was pulling up to her house and, like, I guess you could say stalking her, but I didn't have the car anymore. The car was gone. So she literally just made up a lie. All it was that she's, like, so obsessed with me that literally, I guess these girls want to lock you. If I can't have them, no one can have them. How about that? I guess I'm that guy, you know? And, like, based off to what I was saying is that a lot of females, now that they know that one girl has called the cops on me. Now it's almost like a domino effect. They'll all call the cops on me. That's how they know that they'll get to me like that. You know what I mean? They know that, you know, I'm innocent or whatever, but all they care about is just ruining my reputation because I've always been a guy where you could fuck me over and do all these things, but I kind of use it to my own benefit and I kind of bounce back bigger, badder, stronger, and I kind of build off of people's hate and people's doubt and stuff like that. Like when someone tries to ruin your reputation and name, you gotta take that and find a way to make it like feed yourself with it. You know what I mean? Like eat off of that shit, man. Don't let these haters win. And what I've always done was I just pray that, God has my back, and, I strive for better. I strive for more. A lot of people tried destroying my business, for example, and I've had series of businesses before, and I just never give up. I fall on my ass, and I keep climbing that ladder. You know what I mean? But like I said, like a lot of girls try to just ruin me because they see that, I don't know if it's that they're jealous or whatever the case is, or I have like really bad luck finding girls because everybody tells me I'm horrible at reading girls. But in the grand scheme of things, like now what I do is I use it as fuel, and I kind of just...
Dude, fucking, that's a weird thing. How much the negative experiences in our life can be some of the best fuel to create positive shit. Like the earlier story I'm talking about, do with the whip, that has been some solid fuel for me to finally fucking train more efficiently than I really like ever have before.
Yeah.
And it's weird because before that negative fucking experience, I was like, no, I know what I'm doing. I got this shit.
I had countless of people tell me that I couldn't, start a business, and here I am. I own 6 vehicles now, and I'm only 24, and I kind of do whatever I want. I get up whenever I want. I make the money that I want. I choose what I want to do with my life. And I feel like a lot of people are jealous of that. But like I said, I just use these people as fuel now. And, I just strive for bigger, better. Oh, yeah, you try to knock me down, knock me on my ass, I'm coming back harder.
Do you find that there's any dark side to that mindset?
As to like what? Like me? Like as like dark mindset to me? Like I'm doing this as like a revenge and a payback?
Like, do you find any negative that falls on you for using that sort of pain as fuel?
That's a good one. I'm not sure. I know a lot of people like, everybody always used to say, Chris can't do this, Chris can't do that. And, here I am driving the car that you always wish that you had, and, and I have it. And here I am doing whatever I want, pulling whatever I want. I'm just like that. You know what I mean? Like, if I remember crashing one of my cars, and I remember saying like, damn, this is my car and shit. I love this damn thing, and people laughing at me. And you know what? I came back the following year. I worked my ass off. I did a lot of snow plowing and shit like that. White gold. A lot of people know about that if you're in that contractor industry, landscape, that type of stuff. Bounced back, man, saved up my money and bought a new one cash. Better, faster, stronger, louder. And guess what? These people are trying. They're hoping. They're waiting for me to crash again. You know what I mean?
If you didn't have haters, do you feel like you'd still have fuel?
I guess I would have to fuel off to something else, because I think my haters are my biggest fuel. It's that, oh, yeah, you think I can't make it, you think I can't do it, watch.
Dude, I was listening to an interview with Kanye the other day, or as it goes by Ye nowadays, with a guy called Lex Fridman. And as he's talking, you really get a sense that a lot of his fuel comes from the people who hate him, from jealousy, things along those lines. But it's weird that it could take him to such heights.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of times people say, oh, you don't want to use dark shit like that as fuel. Like, drop your envy, drop your jealousy, drop your insecurities, try to get rid of them in some way. But it's weird. There seems to be another argument I've heard that, no. Those make you who you are in a way. And those can also be some of the greatest tools for you in your life. 100%. Your insecurities at times, which is a weird way to look at it.
100%, yeah. No, that's how it is. I use this stuff as fuel. Y'all should use this as fuel. Find a way to use it as fuel, because everybody has a hater. There's always somebody out there that doesn't like you. Just, hey, yo, shrug it off, bounce back, and just use it as fuel.
And even if you have to make up haters, maybe sometimes...
even if you have to do that, it's all good. Do what you got to do, but be successful. Find what you love. Fuck what everybody else thinks, yo, and just stick to your agenda. I had a million people tell me, yo, you can't make it without college. Well, shit, I'm doing a lot better than all the people I went to school with. You know what I mean? And I'm still a goofball. It's still being Chris. I remember, I know this is I'm changing the topic, but I remember, for example, I had a teacher, Spanish teacher, just because I liked Donald Trump and I wanted Donald Trump to win. Everybody in my Spanish class was laughing at me saying, you're stupid for being Hispanic and voting for Trump, 1. And 2, this was back in 2016. So when he was first going to be when he was first running or whatever, 2015, 2016, whatever. And, I remember my Spanish teacher in my AP class, she was like, I was the only one that was like, yeah, I'm all for him. I like him and all that. And she was like, literally like, oh my God, you're a disgrace. And he became president. I proved her wrong. And, you know, you know what I mean? She also said, like, you know, I'm not going to go anywhere in life, but hey, I mean, you're a Spanish teacher. What are you making? You know what I mean? I'm making whatever I want to make, you know? It's just I grew up where I'm the type of person, it's either you love me or you hate me. There's really no in between. There's not really like I don't mind Chris. I don't mind Chris Q or whatever. I love Chris. I love his talk. I love how he is as a person, or I absolutely hate him.
You seem to be a person who operates a lot in black and white.
Black and white, and that's why, I guess. You know, it's either you hate me or you love me. I don't really know anybody that's like, yeah, I don't mind him. No, it's like I hate him or I really fuck with him heavy. You know? And all the hate, because I have a lot of hate out there. There's a lot of people that don't like me. You know, I use it as fuel and I just push forward. You know what I mean? The only thing that fucks myself up is myself. Literally, like if you want to talk about money, I like to blow money because I make that decision, you know? But hey, at least I make my money, you know? I make my money, I can spend it however I want. Simple. But, you know? And at the end of the day, you really owe no explanation to anybody anyways. You do what you want to do in life. Hell with everybody else. I like to use the haters as motivation and fuel and all this other stuff. I like to kind of just show you, look, you said I couldn't, I did it, you know? But
that seems to be a lot like Trump's character.
Yeah.
From what I've seen.
That's one of the reasons why I really like Trump. I like how he's very straight up and he's very like, you know, this is it and this is it and that's it. If you don't like what I say, fuck you. I'm kind of like that too.
Why do you like Trump? Why did you want him to be? Why did you want him to be president? Not a race. Why do you like him? Just
why do I like Donald Trump? I like Donald Trump. There's a million different reasons why. It comes from even as little as how tall he is. I think, you know, me and him, if we saw each other, you know, we're about the same height. We're both big dudes. You know what I mean? Our egos are pretty fucking high. You know what I mean? He's all about, yeah, look at what I got, flashy. Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of the same way. He's a business guy. I love business people. I'm a business person. I like how he's a hustler. Yes, was he given, you know, passed down some money from his father? What was it, $1 million? He turned it into $1 billion. God bless, man. It's not easy to do that. You know what I mean? But I like Donald Trump because he's very bold. He's a very bold person. He's very straight up, and we have a lot of viewpoints that are the same.
If you're gonna talk while facing me,
I know. I keep looking this way, looking this way.
Yeah. Can you have if it's gonna be a little off to the side? Yeah, because if it's straight on like that, all the P's are gonna sound like.
Yeah. Okay. No, like I said, I like Donald Trump because we have a lot of similar viewpoints on a lot of million different things.
Do you think that makes him a good president? Did you want him to be more in your mind? Do you think you wanted him to be more president because you liked him or because you thought he was the most efficient person for the job?
I think he was the most fit for the job as well. I mean, at the end of the day, what runs the country, what runs the world? It's money. And he's all about the money. You know what I mean? And I feel like him being president, I mean, he created a hell of a lot of jobs. I like how he wants to close up the border. Yes, do I think that it's stupid just putting a fence down and you think that's going to stop it? Like people can't dig, go in boats, this, that, and the third, fly in, whatever, et cetera. They're always going to find a way in. You know what I mean? But I like how he's all about, you know, like, you know, he's very strict with a lot of things. You know, he's very he don't take no shit.
Dude, there's something I want to go back to for a second.
Yeah,
because this is
I love his energy.
I
love his energy.
Mm-hmm. This money runs the world sort of
it really does.
idea, but that makes me wonder. There's an old saying. I think it's like a Cree Indian saying. When the fish are all gone and the water's all poisoned, only then when you realize you cannot eat money.
Gotcha.
It's something along those lines.
Gotcha. Are you saying like money can't buy you everything? Is that what you're trying to say? What are you trying to say? Specify a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. That money seems like a piece of the puzzle.
Right.
And when we talk about what runs the world, okay, I guess we're talking about power, like what influences what people do with their lives, what people want, what makes things happen. Is that kind of what you mean? When you say?
Yeah. Money's what gets people moving. I mean, hey, if you put money in front of people, they're doing what, you know, it depends on the person, but money really runs the world. It really does. Like, a lot of it has to do with money.
Dude, here's a really
Nobody works for free. Nobody does nothing for free. Everybody wants money. Every way possible. It's getting worse, too. You know? Fuck the trading. I want the money.
Dude, there's a book called Black Swan by Nassim Taleb. And one of the points he points out, sorry for being redundant, is
Sure.
that one of the most important and influential factors in history and in people's lives are what he calls the black swan. And by black swan, he means the anomaly, the unexpected, unplanned for events. Like 9/11 would be a black swan. Like me fucking up my leg would be a black swan. Like have your girl being pregnant would be a black swan. It's these super impactful things that change the way we live, the direction of our lives, but it's not really planned. And when we talk about, or there's this saying, money runs the world, okay, there would be a potential counter to that viewpoint, that instead of money being one of the things that runs the world, perhaps it's largely unexpected events that are hugely influential that we have to kind of bend and mold to. And on top of that, you could say your kids, right? Like, would you rather have $1 billion or have your kid be born, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, totally.
Would you rather
There's
have
some things
food in
money
your
that just
stomach?
can't buy and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But does money buy happiness?
There's
You know
an
what I mean?
interesting study.
That's a good one.
There's an interesting study I've heard that I forget the specific name of, but it should be pretty easy to find for anyone who wants to look it up. It goes something like, it was trying to answer that question, right?
Yeah.
Hold on. I will ask.
Oh,
that
you want it
have
the other
your
way?
phone-
Okay.
No, that you just have it off the table.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
If there's-
Actually, give me 1 second. Let me.
All right.
Under 4.5.
Now we're actually back.
All right.
Okay, so I was talking about a study in which people were trying to figure out that question: does money make you happy?
Yeah.
And from what I remember, the general response was up to the point of the rough number was $80,000. There was a market trend in happiness levels would be going up. But once you hit 80 grand, the weirdest thing happened. It just leveled off. And it didn't matter how much more money you could make from that. And the guesses surrounding, like, well, why is that happening?
Well, you're saying like 80 grand just in the bank?
No, 80 grand a year. Like your salary.
Oh, okay, 80 grand in a
So that
year.
means typically, like, at the time of the study, 80 grand, like, I can have my car, I can have my health insurance, I can have food. Every now and then I can go on vacation, right? Like, I have all the survival things down and a little bit of luxury. And after that, from what that study found, and this was done across the world, if I remember correctly, it didn't seem to matter, right? So the difference between, like, as weird as that fucking sounds, a billionaire, 100 millionaire, a 10 millionaire, a 500,000-aire, and an 80,000-aire, that different levels of money didn't seem to, in that study, affect the happiness level, which is really worth it. Yeah, and then that brings
80
to mind.
grand. That's low.
But think about how much that can do, right? And low relative to what? Low relative to that puts you in the 1%,
Low
if I
as in,
remember, for the
1%.
world.
1%
Compared to the world.
Like rich?
Yeah, compared to the world.
Oh, I don't believe that. I
We
feel like
could,
I feel like to be in the 1%, you gotta be making at least $1 million a year.
No, compared to the world, in America, maybe.
Because
But
to get in the 1% category,
Mhm.
that's nuts. Because 80 grand ain't shit. I can't. 80 grand ain't nothing. Hey, I know you're in the sidelines. You think 80 grand's a lot? Yeah.
Nah, but he's saying in the world, you gotta
Yeah, but that ain't shit. If you want to be like legit.
there's tons of really
I don't even know.
countries that make like
Yeah, but then you got to go to their
so no,
way
he's
of
saying
living.
that makes you the top 1%.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out how to
Just
okay.
look up what makes you in the top.
salary
In the US, top 1%.
puts you.
I'd say $1 million, bro, with inflation and all that now. It's at least $1 million.
Okay, of the world.
That's the thing. It varies by where you live. What does it say? Just put what makes you 1%, the 1% group of money. Because I 80 grand's nothing. You know, yeah, it's a lot, but to your average.
I'm trying to find across the world. So far, I think I'm just finding in the U.S.
Yeah. Well, what does it say in the U.S.? It's at least $1 million.
On Forbes.com, according to recent studies, to be in the top 1% of earners in the U.S., you need to bring in an annual salary of at least $597,815 or $815 a year. This
even
means
then, that's not even all that either.
see, but that's weird, man, because that makes me wonder what's your point of relativity? Like, what are you comparing it to? And it sounds like you're comparing
Millionaire.
it to
Straight up, just a straight up millionaire. You know, like I talk about this with my I go to my auto shop, because I have a ton of cars, and I go to him and we always get into a funny convo where he's like, well, what makes you rich? He's like, well, having $1 million in the bank or making $1 million a year. We both come to an agreement making $1 million a year. If you make $1 million a year, you could buy pretty much whatever you want. You know what I mean? From whatever. If you want to buy a girl, you could buy a damn girl too. Like $1 million is a lot of money.
Yep.
But then
Especially
again, is it a lot of money? Because look at it. Look at a professional MLB player. Look at any professional NBA player, NFL player.
and that's
Their average salary. Their average salary in the MLB, if I'm not wrong, I'm pretty sure it's like $4 million right now.
But dude, this is what I want to trace back for a second. When we talk about I don't want to conflate the two because I was about to compare money running the world and money being what can definitely make you happy. Like if you have a lot of money, you're definitely happy. But I think we've all heard the stories of the person who's super rich and super fucking dissatisfied, right?
Yeah.
Like the person who's rich and blows their brains out, who's rich and is addicted to this, that, and the other thing.
Like money could buy you a house, but not a home.
Ah, yeah, dude, that's an interesting thing. I've talked to people who live in not millionaire houses, but close in that sort of community, and they're like, dude, some of the ugliest, meanest people I've known have lived in those sorts of communities, have been those sorts of people.
True.
Yeah, and so that's making me wonder, okay, so money's a piece of that equation. Without, I don't want to, let's put that aside just for a second.
Yeah,
Let's just say that's a fact.
We got all night.
Let's just say money's one piece of that puzzle. Well, what are all the other factors of what, let's say, runs the world and runs maybe the human world? Because there are things like movements.
But money and power kind of almost the same thing.
I've heard that
similar.
described. There's a TED Talk. The guy's talking about power, trying to find out where are the nodes of power in a society. And he said one thing would be movements, right? Like this would be a Martin Luther King-esque civil rights movement, a hippie movement, things along those lines. One would be violence, being able to inflict physical violence en masse. One would be money, political power, but he also described money as being able to buy almost any other form of power in the lists he was describing.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that gets weird, man. Like the hippie movement. And maybe I'm ridiculous for going back to that, but just to play, I guess, devil's advocate for a second, I'm thinking of the hippie movement, right? This peace and love and fucking just have a good time. Like that's
right.
So much of what seemed to mold what these people wanted to do with their lives. Let's just love one another, be peaceful, and, spread that as a vibe out throughout the country and the world. And that didn't seem to be very money driven. And yet I don't want to deny too much what seems to be an obvious reality that money is a big part of what humans do. Right? Yeah. Especially when you don't have a lot of money. Yeah. Especially when you can't consistently put food in your cabinet and get your kid that healthcare or the medicine they need. Money's probably going to start influencing what the fuck you do with your life a lot more if your kid needs some sort of just asthma. They have asthma and they need an inhaler, and for whatever reason you can't afford.
Comes down to that, yeah.
Yeah, will
EpiPen.
Yeah, and then the whole idea of doing criminal activity to make money becomes more at least understandable. When someone's like, oh, yeah, I'm selling drugs because I've tried in my area, can't find a job. Right. And I've legitimately put that effort out. Or I'm working a job already, maybe working two, but my salary is just too low. My kid needs medicine. I'm looking at my kid barely be able to breathe when they go to sleep at night. And it's like.
But then it comes into what about being a hitman? That's big money. Right? So now is that fucked? You see what I'm saying?
I feel like that.
You know what I mean?
That gets weird, man.
See, I feel like it's justifiable when a homeless man goes into a store and he steals, a bag of chips. It's like, if I own the store, hey, man, listen, if you need to just come every day, I'll try to get you something. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I'll chase him out with the fucking
yeah, exactly.
He has a bag of chips.
Exactly. And I know a lot of people, if you're homeless and, sometimes they'll purposely steal or do something just so that they have a warm place.
They could go to prison where they have.
Yep. Yeah, it is what it is. It's a really fucked up world. It gets crazy, but money. At the end of the day, it's all because of money.
I don't know, dude.
A lot of it. You know what I mean? Money can't cure everything. Money can't do everything, but it could do most.
I don't know. So I can't even say that I disagree. It's just that I don't know. When I ask myself and look at the evidence that I've kind of gathered, there's still a big question mark about. because that question about what runs the world, that's a big fucking question.
Yeah, it is.
And that seems very difficult for me to pin down. But here's a cool story that I love telling. When my mom, she used to live in a communist country, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
She
somewhere
lived
in
on the
Europe,
other
right?
side. Yeah, on the other side of the Iron Curtain.
Wasn't it like Chateau Republic?
Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakia.
They split
whatever.
and became Czech Republic and
Yeah,
Slovakia.
bunch of shit.
But not even gonna.
Oh,
But
man.
anyway,
Yeah,
fucking moving on, and homelessness, from what she saw, that wasn't a thing when she was growing up. As her understanding went, people either were given jobs, like the state will give you a job. People just not having a job wasn't really a thing there. Now, maybe there's a question of, were they just put in prison and it wasn't really talked about?
Right.
That's kind of I don't know. And that's a bit of a different conversation. But the point being, she never saw homelessness when she lived there. And when she moved to the States, the first time she saw it, she was walking through a city with a friend, and she was just struck like, bro, is that guy
what?
fucking dead?
Yeah,
like, that guy's
yeah.
just
And he's just sleeping. Like
maybe,
half,
but that's the weird thing. Like, maybe he's sleeping. How many people go up and fucking poke a guy who might be sleeping on the sidewalk and like, are you like alive, bro? Are you good? Like, do you need something? Like, so many people just kind of walk past and don't even really see it. And so she literally held her friend's hand when she was walking through the city tightly because she was afraid if she tripped and fell, people would just walk over. People would just step over. And I think she was, 14 or 15, 16 at the time. But still, the fact that that was such a foreign thing to her. And that makes me wonder, I heard someone say that capitalism, and what is capital? It's very synonymous with money. So moneyism is one of the main systems on which our country runs. And from what I have heard, compared to a lot of other countries throughout history and in the world nowadays, that system's running pretty fucking well. But it still seems to be lacking a lot of something. I almost wonder if you miss a core of what life is really about if you put money as the highest good, which is easy to say when my stomach's pretty full and I'm not having a terrible illness I can't pay for. But still, it feels like, it seems to me like you're missing something. Like there's some wonderful part of life that if you put money as the top good.
I hope my mom didn't text me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, we're fine. Okay. I know. Sometimes I get loud. Her room's right up there. But.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, man. It just makes me wonder, is there something that would be better to have run the world? Like, let's just say if money runs the world, is that the optimal thing to run the world? Is there a better thing to possibly run the world? I don't know.
Who knows? The world may never know.
Lollipop commercial, go, yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's crazy. I don't know. And now, not only that, what about land? Do you feel like, should the government just run? What about all the undiscovered land and et cetera? I know everything's pretty much almost discovered, but
let's say when we go out
should
into
people
space
put a price tag on land? You know what I mean? If there's all this open field and just no one's living there, and you just build a house, who is the government to just say, you know what I mean?
Dude,
it's
this
control.
is an interesting concept when people build like a big apartment plot and they're spectating on the property. So they don't want to rent it out to anyone yet. They want to price the value of those rooms, from my understanding of what spectating is, to go up a good degree, and then they will start to rent it out to people so they can make more money. Because if they bring people in while the price is still low, my understanding, and this could be wrong, but the basic understanding is that they won't be able to then charge them more if the property starts to go up in value for whatever reason. So they'll have this potential home that people could be living in when there's a bunch of homeless people out in the street. But like, nope, we don't want anybody living in here yet until we can make enough money. And sometimes I've heard of protesters will go into the building like, no, we're living in here. It's fucked up that you have all this area that people could be living in, all this shelter. They're just not allowing people to have a home.
Yeah, I heard that's what's going on with hotels too. Supposedly, there's just a whole. This is what I heard. We can't listen to everything we hear.
Yeah,
but
fair.
I heard that there's like hotels and like unattended rooms. People could just stay in it now. Supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we don't know.
Mm-hmm. And then that gets weird because as the business owner, I could see you wanting like, nah, man, I want to make a profit. I got kids.
Yeah.
I want people I want to feed. I have employees I need to pay. I have all the insurances for my buildings and all that stuff. Like that costs a good chunk of money.
Right.
That's a tough one, man.
Tricky.
Yeah. And then that might go back to what you were talking about earlier with, man, try and be the best. Well, this almost sounds so corny, but maybe there's an important truth captured in this. Try and be the best you can be, live the best life you can, and then perhaps that will create the positive ripples to maybe answer these big questions. Maybe you'll be the person that the future president will see when they're a kid, and you influence them with your light. I'll call it, using real poetic sort of terms. You influence them with your light, and that left such a mark in them that years down the line, you didn't even know you interacted with that kid at some point at like a fucking grocery store. I don't know.
100%. Yeah.
And because you were being your best self, we'll call it, maybe you left a positive mark that ended up solving or being a piece of what solved that problem down the line. Like, life can be weird like that sometimes, man.
Life sucks, and then you die.
As the old saying goes.
Yeah. I
Or
mean,
maybe not.
Yeah.
Or maybe life can be bliss, and then you pass away.
It sucks. Dying sucks. I don't know. At the end of the day, it's depressing. It sucks, you know?
Hmm.
You know, everybody wants to live life to the fullest, but not everybody gets the opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
Be grateful. That's it. Be grateful. Thanksgiving's coming up.
Oh, yeah. This is true, man. Gobble, gobble season.
Yeah.
Time to fucking eat. I don't even think I may not be home for that. I may be on the road.
Good.
It's calling. But I think for Christmas, I'll be back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Christmas seems like that's an A1. That's like #1 holiday. I don't want to
Really?
miss that one. For me, yeah. Like,
It all
what
depends.
do you think? What's your top holiday
American holidays, or does it matter?
for you? What's your favorite holiday? Yeah.
I know Halloween's not a holiday, but I like the
It's
theme.
a holiday.
It's a holiday, you know what I mean? But it's technically not or whatever, but I fuck with Halloween. And the reason why it's because it gets spooky and, like, you know, you want to boo up with a girl and you want to do your thing. Maybe I'm just in that age group where it's like, you know, Halloween's lit. You know what I mean?
Dressing up.
Halloween parties is lit. Halloween's lit.
Oh, dude, Halloween parties are the shit. I went
yeah,
to a solid
yeah.
one the other day.
Yeah, Halloween parties are cool. And, like, I like that whole, like, you know, it's like you watch the scary movies, the old ones, and they're just the hits, man. And then it almost makes you wish, you know, it brings back, like, damn, I wish I lived in those days. You know, I wonder how it would be driving the, you know, those classic cars and shit.
The
Like
cars that broke down every few miles.
Yeah. It's cool. No, it's cool. It's cool. I like Halloween. I like 4th of July because it's the same month of my birthday, so I like 4th of July.
And summer.
Christmas is cool. I feel like it's a little overrated.
Really?
Yeah. New Year's, another thing. I feel like that shit is overrated as hell too.
Yeah, for me, New Year's is like a meh.
It's like yeah, nah, and then that's it. Like, yeah, New Year's party. Other than that, nobody gives a fuck. You know, it's
Yeah,
just
that's more
another,
lower.
It's just something with the New
People
Year's.
just want to have something right next to
And
Christmas.
what happens right after New Year's? Depression. Everybody's just like, damn. Because it's it.
Really?
There's no more the
I
holiday
didn't know.
season.
I heard that Valentine's Day, there's a lot of people. Dude, I
Really?
actually heard suicide rates spike around. It was either Valentine's Day or Christmas.
Yeah.
That's a weird dark
Valentine's
edge to
Day.
go.
I don't really. I never had a Valentine really.
On Valentine's Day, I don't think I have either.
I never had a true Valentine. So who wants to be my Valentine? I don't know. I guess my daughter will be my Valentine.
There you go.
I don't know. Other than that, what's another holiday? Easter. Fuck Easter.
Yeah.
Right? Easter's whack.
Yeah, so
It's
decent
whack.
dinner.
It's like a. I always looked at it like the bootleg version of Halloween. The reason why I say that, no religion having to do with this at all, but you know, I feel like, you know, it's all about, you know, eggs and candy again, right, and stuff like that. Well, Halloween's got you beat there, you know.
Yeah,
I feel like
but they don't have
Halloween-
an egg hunt.
Yeah. There's no
The
egg
egg
hunt,
hunt is-
but you got a corn maze, you know.
Oh, that's
Come
true.
on.
You got to go, dude. Have you ever heard of those fucking zombie fields?
Yeah, I
where you
wanted
can
to
have a
do all that.
paintball gun.
Yes.
And
I want to do all that, but my friends are whack. Who wants to be my friend? I don't know. I don't have any. I don't have any cool ones.
you need to go out paintballing.
Yeah, I want to do all that.
You ever go paintballing?
I actually, crazy fact, I've never gone paintballing.
I highly recommend it. It's a good time.
It is. Your adrenaline's going. And I
Oh,
love
yeah,
that
dude.
adrenaline rush. Let's go. I feel like I'm in that age group to finally start doing all that shit.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
I got to get out more. You know, I'm not 21 anymore. I'm older than 21, and I'm still over here moping around, stuck in my little, I wish I was still a child. But, you know, right now is where you could have fun. You know, I'm still young. I'm still ready to go. I can still move. Let's roll.
Yeah,
but
bro.
who wants to come with me? No one. Nobody wants to spend money. Nobody wants to do shit. Everybody wants to mope around, and then they
dude.
die. You know,
Go do your thing.
Yeah, let's go. I don't know. Let's hit winter's coming, and it's like the sad, depressing season. So let's go fucking skiing or snowboarding. I suck at it. I'm Hispanic. Well, Hispanic is good at that shit, you know. But let's keep it real. I'll go. I don't care if I fall. I don't care if I'm horrible at it. Let's just go have a good time.
Dude, here's something I've been fucking focusing on lately: how to have fun cheaply.
Yeah,
Like even without spending money. Just
see, like that whole like a lot of girls will be like, oh, I see on Snapchat, oh, sightseeing and all that. It's cool. It ain't for me really. I want to go have fun. Let's go hit the nightclubs. Let's go, but it's all money.
see, but
I went to a nightclub last week with my cousin. Bro, I blew like $200 something and just bam. It's just like damn. But how to have fun with no money. I don't know. House party. I don't know. There's a million things like, you know, go doing something that you never really done. You know, go see something you never seen. Shit like that. Like, you know, I don't know. Go for a drive across country. That kind of thing. That shit's cool. I think all that's cool, but it's just I feel like that's one thing with the people that I surround myself with. I hate to say it, but I had a lot of them say like, we're gonna start a business together, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, let's do all that shit never happens. You know what I mean? Let's go on vacations together. I don't really have friends that'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have maybe one or two people now, thank God, where we could be like, yo, let's go. And they're down. You know what I mean? And one of them sitting right behind me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So he's pretty chill. You know, typical girl problems too. But we relate a lot. But he's down to stay out late all night. So am I. Everybody wants to sit there, oh, yeah, I got work tomorrow. Every day you say the same shit. Just have fun. Live every moment to the fullest because you don't know if you have tomorrow.
Matter of fact, you know what, Chris? That's gonna be the fucking. That will be the rapper.
Yeah.
You don't know if you'll have tomorrow, ladies and
You
gentlemen.
do not know if you have tomorrow. Hopefully I got the record right now for the longest video.
I think you did.
You know? I think I covered enough. Have me back here.
Fuck yeah.
Have me back here. I'm ready to go. Part 2, 3, 4, 5.
Chris Q, ladies and gentlemen.
You know the vibe.
One
All
more
right.
shout out if you want to your fucking lawn care company.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Christopher Lawn Care, LLC. We're out of New Jersey. We do all of Central Jersey.
Find it.
Some PA and stuff like that.
They have comfy ass clothes.
Comfy clothes, nice shirts. If you need a job, holla.
Motherfucking
Holla.
fine.
I hire all races.
That's the last.
Yeah, there you go.